Another kind of man. Oh, he took it in high. Oh, he got up there. Woo. Julius has it right now. Chimera wearing another kind of mask. Oh, he took it in high. Oh, he got up there. Woo.
From the sixth, and we're trying to do one in the air. Second empty netter goal of the series for Adam Lowry.
Has it right now. Julius has it right now. Chimera wearing another kind of mask.
Second empty netter goal of the series for Adam Lowry.
On Sports 1440.
Trying to deep center. One in the air. It's looking deep left field. It's a game over.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
Julius has it right now. Chimera wearing another kind of mask. Took it in high. Oh, he got up there.
Welcome back to another game day edition of the Jason Gregor Show on Sports 1440, Oilers Nation, YouTube, Facebook, X, Instagram, sports1440.ca. I know some of you listening on the app, iHeartRadio, Radio Player, Stingray. We love it. Consume the show however you like. We're just happy that you come back. Spend a little time with us as you get set for Game 6. And the Edmonton Oilers have an opportunity to once again close out the series against the LA Kings, the first opportunity they have. 2022, first elimination game was Game 7. They won. First elimination game in 2023 was Game 6 in LA. They won. 2024, Game 5 at home. They won. The Oilers are actually 7-2 in elimination games since 2017. The second best winning percentage of any team in the NHL. Only Montreal is better at 4-0. The Oilers are actually 5-0 when they have a chance to eliminate a team in 5 or 6 games. They are 2-2 in Game 7, but that's when both teams can eliminate each other. So, maybe a little bit different, who knows? But either way, the Oilers have played very well, and they have not given teams an opportunity to get back in the series very often. So, well, never, because it's Game 7. There's no series to get back in. You either win or you lose. And the Oilers have done a lot more winning in the games where they have a chance to clinch or win the series. So they'll try to continue that. No lineup changes for the Edmonton Oilers. No lineup changes for the Los Angeles Kings. Now, will we see some schematic changes for the Kings? I'm going to say it right now. If the LA Kings decide not to forecheck and decide to just sit back, especially if they score first, because through the first 21 games of this 4-year series, the team who scored first was 19-2. However, the last 2 games, team who scores first is 0-2. The Kings scored first, Game 4 and Game 5, lost them both. Now, Game 5 was a complete ass kicking by the Edmonton Oilers from start to finish. And we've talked about it a lot. You all watched it. You all knew it. As nervous as you were, maybe because the score was 1-1 and 2-1 for a short period of time, the Oilers utterly dominated that game. So if they do that again tonight, it's good night, Irene. I think we all know that. But I look at the Oilers tonight, and there's a lot of reasons why I see this as an advantage, Edmonton. They've got boatload of confidence. They're playing the game they like. LA's goaltender is asking his team, hey, if we score first, can we maybe attack rather than sit back? And I'll say it right now. Chris Knobloch and his coaching staff have out-schemed and out-coached the LA Kings coaching staff. Now, DJ Smith runs the defense. He's made the choice in the series for reasons I'm not sure, because he doesn't speak to the media. And Jim Hiller's like, I trust him 100%. Okay, that's great. You trust him. But it's not working. The LA Kings going to 4 defense. So you know what the Oilers did? They looked and said, okay, these guys want to go with 4 defensemen. Well, guess what we're going to do? We're going to go more physical. We're going to ramp the physicality up because we think we'll wear them down. Zach Hyman has 22 hits in the last 2 games. Do you know how many hits he had last year in the run to the Stanley Cup final? 53 in 25 games. Basically 2 a game, just slightly above. He's averaging 11 hits per game in the last 2 games alone. He's got 36 in the playoffs. Henrique's got 22. Podkolzin 27. Kane and Frederick 17. The Kings' leading hit guy has 17. And they got guys, and I was told by a player who I'll remain unnamed today, he's like, yeah, LA, they hit, but they don't hit you, was his exact words. And I think anybody knows what you mean. Like, you've got guys like Trevor Moore, Kevin Fiala. Yeah, they hit you, but they're not Tom Wilson. They're not Evander Kane. Heck, they're not Hyman. They're not Podkolzin. Like, you can hit to finish your check, and sometimes you can hit to deliver a little bit of pain with it. And no offense to Fiala and Moore, but they're not big enough to do it. Warren Fogle is not a hard hitter by any stretch of the imagination. So the Kings don't have it. But guess what? Adam Henrique's never been a big physical player for the most part. He says, okay, coach wants us to do it. This is what we'll do. We'll dump and place, not just dump and chase, but dump and place. And I think it's clear because LA chooses to do the exact same thing. We'll be passive. We're going to sit back, and we're not going to forecheck. All right, how's that worked for you? This is year 4. The Kings haven't forechecked in any of the series. Like, anybody who watched the Oilers, when they struggle in a series, when do they struggle? When the other team forechecks. Like, this is not rocket science here. Oh, my God. So it's kind of stunning to me. And LA, hey, Jim Hiller's pretty adamant. You know what? Speck asked him today about them sitting back. He's like, no, it's back pressure. What? Watch the Oilers. Look at times they would have their defensemen in the offensive zone when they have clear possession. Sometimes you're making a change. And then the LA Kings, they would barely even have a player on the Oilers side of center. Like, what are we doing? First of all, it's boring as sin, and it ain't successful. There's a reason why you're 15-8 for the Oilers and 8-15 for the Kings in the series. Okay? One strategy does not work. It's been proven. It does not work. Yet the Kings are like, oh, we love it. Let's keep doing it. You know what's going to happen? They're probably going to lose the series again. Now, is there a chance they can win tonight? Damn right there's a chance. But Edmonton keeps playing their game, and LA doesn't deviate from their plan. It's good night, Irene. The Gregor Show is always presented by PlayAlberta.ca. You want to get in? Get in now. You can get a $100 free play for just signing up, a $100 bonus when you sign up. And also, for all of you return users, use the promo code Gregor100 when you make your next deposit, and you'll get another additional $100 free play at PlayAlberta.ca, where, of course, it's also Thursday, the Daily Grand. Your opportunity to win $1,000 a day for the next 20 years. Total is $7.3 million at PlayAlberta.ca. We got a loaded show for you. TR is going to join us right off the hop here. We got Dave Jackson, ESPN NHL rules analyst, also former official. We'll get his thoughts on the Shen and Faxa hits on Mark Scheifele. Scheifele got rocked by Schenn, came back, played 6 minutes, got rocked again by Faxa. He's out. He's not traveling. He won't be playing in Game 6 in St. Louis. That's a huge blow for them. Now, Nikolai Ehlers is going to travel. We'll see if he plays. We'll also talk about, do we know the official rules, reasonings on getting kicked out of the faceoff? We'll talk about that. A few other things with Dave Jackson. Jim Fox from the LA Kings, former NHLer, he'll be by. Jeff Merrick will join us as he always does every Thursday. We got Spec Jason Chimera, former NHLer, 1,000 game played in his career. Talk about some of his former teams having a pretty good playoff run right now. And we might ask him a few Ovi stories because, of course, he spent a long time with the Great Eight in Washington. And, of course, we'll preview the Oilers and the Kings. Also, Stephen Bazan will join us from Sherbrooke for Thirsty Thursday. Hey, Oiler fans, you might want to plan a little special cocktail. Maybe this will be your celebratory cocktail if the Oilers go to the Elite Eight for the 4th consecutive season. Also, something that's fun, I looked it up, it's already happened this year. Connor McDavid already has 10 points in the series. Leon Draisaitl already has 10 points in the series. In the salary cap era, McDavid has the most series with at least 10 points, 8 of them. Draisaitl has 6. Next closest, Crosby with 4. Then Kucherov, McKinnon, Danny Briere. A few others have 3. There's only 18 who have even done it twice. And McDavid and Draisaitl have already done it 8 and 6 times, respectively. Kings just haven't had an answer for them. Now, there's other series where they each had 9. So they get close. They're always productive. Those are guys, and you all see the numbers, they show up in the playoffs. As do you. 833-401-1440. 833-401-1440. You can text us in our eWell inbox. Also, it's playoffs. You want to go to the game tonight? We're going to auction off a pair of seats for Gregor's Grads. These are actually my seats. Lower bowl, section 115, row 17. They are great seats. Oilers attack twice, perfect sight lines. And the people, I can tell you, if you're an Oiler fan, in this section where you're sitting, super fun group of people that sit around you. My son and wife love it. Super comfortable when they go to the games. And you'll have a great time. So 833-401-1440 if you want to bid on a pair of seats tonight to go to the game and maybe see the Oilers punch their ticket. And they will face the winner of Vegas and Minnesota, who are also playing tonight. It's 4 games tonight, 4 potential elimination games. Toronto's in Ottawa. And is there a little bit of stress there in Toronto right now? The most stunning statistic ever, the Maple Leafs since 2018 are 1-13 when they have a chance to clinch a series. 1-13. What the bleep is happening? They've had 3-1 leads, but against Montreal, that was awful. Lost 3 in a row. They've already lost 2 to Ottawa. They've lost multiple times to Tampa Bay. They've lost 4 times to Boston. They gave up 1 to Florida, Columbus. It's not been good. So they'll try to stop that bleeding tonight. Vegas is in Minnesota. Dallas in Colorado. As the home teams, Ottawa, Minnesota, and Colorado are all trying to stave off elimination. The Oilers are the only home team who is up in the series tonight. And the games will get going around 5:10, 5:40, and 7:40, and about 8:10. Probably close to 8:15, 8:17 our time tonight. The Oilers and the LA Kings, the late one. So we'll find out. Hopefully get a few game 7s. Who doesn't like a game 7? And then, of course, you got Winnipeg and St. Louis, the other game 6, only game of the night tomorrow because 3 teams have already punched their ticket. Last night, the no surprise, I don't think, really. For most people, I think we thought, okay, it's going to end. But hey, Florida, I'll be honest, I thought Florida could win, but I don't think many people thought they could win in 5. So Tampa Bay out again. 833-401-1440. 833-401-1440. Hey, Gregor, the Kings dominated Edmonton all season with that. Dakota, my man, are you paying attention? When you say they dominated them, you realize they were 1-1. And then the last 2 games in April, McDavid and Draisaitl didn't play in either game. Nor did Ekholm. Now, he's not playing now anyway. And a few other guys missed those games. Like Kane didn't play in any of those games. Frederick didn't play in any of those games. What are we talking about here? Like the 2 games in April have zero bearing on these 2 teams. They're not fully healthy. It's nothing. It means absolutely nothing. Hey, guys, I've heard that LA doesn't check, but I thought the Oilers had a hard time breaking out in the first 2 games. What's changed now they can get out of their zone easily? Well, if you look, Franny, in the first 2 games, go back and look at some of the plays. They weren't Evan Bouchard, like sometimes you'll have pressure, but they weren't consistently forechecking Bouchard when he decided to throw it up the middle. Or it wasn't a forecheck when Darnell Nurse played above the puck and then Quentin Byfield just comes in and swoops in. That wasn't a forecheck. Right? Victor Arvidsson has the puck high in the defensive zone, fans on it. The puck goes into the corner, and Kopitar wins a race to it and then gets it to Kempe. Not a forecheck, broken play. Like the Oilers were just gifting them chances left and right. So I've always said it in this series, like when Edmonton was bad in the first 2 games, they were bad. And a lot of it was self-inflicted. It wasn't from, oh my God, it's just a relentless pressure. Because like I said, talking to some of the older players, and I love the definition, the Kings hit, but they don't hit you. And I think we all know what that means. Hey, Gregor, is it just me or Henrik not fully engaged? Feels like he's been going through the motions. Would you consider Philp? Just feels like everyone, even Janmark, has stepped up from Elephant Glasses. Well, Henrik has 22 hits, man. I don't think he's been going through the motions. He hasn't produced offensively, but I've had no issue with Henrik's game at all. I think he's been fine. It's actually been snake bitten in the offensive zone a little bit. So I have no issues with that. Hey, boys, I like that description. I think they kind of hit like Jeff Skinner. He battles for pucks. It looks like he's battling, but not really. Well, hey, some guys aren't overly physical, and that's okay. Not every player has to be. But when you can throw out Hyman, Podkolzin, Frederick, and Kane, and they're your leading hitters, and the other team is throwing you Fogle, Fiala, and more, it's not the same. It's not remotely the same. Laferriere is probably the one guy who's got a decent amount of oomph behind his body checks, but that's it. There's not much else. Dave comes in at 300, Al's at 500, and Mike comes in at 600, and we're off and running. So we always like to get face value on these, so we're up to 6 bills. And by the way, we'll end this at 5 o'clock, so you get more time to plan to go to the game tonight. So it's up to 6 bills now, 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440. Great seats, lower bowl. Oilers attack twice tonight against the Los Angeles Kings. Quick break. We'll return. We got a loaded show for you. TR will join us next. The Gregor Show presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
Spring style and road-ready performance are more affordable than ever. Now at Volvo Cars Edmonton. Lease or finance a 2025 XC90 plug-in hybrid from 1.49% and save up to $5,000. Lease a 2025 XC60 plug-in hybrid from 4.9% and save $3,000. Lease or finance a 2025 XC40 from 0.49% and save $2,000. Get ready for the open road at Volvo Cars Edmonton. Great vehicles, better services, only at VolvoCarsEdmonton.com.
If you bleed orange and blue and you're not using the all-new Play Alberta Sports and Casino app, then you're missing out. It's the only online sportsbook with odds boosts on all Oilers games. And now, it's not just sports. Play the slots, hit the tables, buy lottery tickets, all in one app, all across Alberta. Download Play Alberta now from your phone's app store and use promo code GOAL for a $100 bonus. That's promo code GOAL!
A pizza from Papa John's is already pretty great, but you know what's even better? 2 pizzas from Papa John's. For a limited time, get a medium 1-topping pizza for only $6 when you order any large specialty pizza at regular price. The works, the meats. Pick your favorite specialty pizza and get even more delicious Papa John's to enjoy. Whether you're feeding your family, your team, or yourself, get your next meal from your locally owned and operated Papa John's. Better ingredients, better pizza. Papa John's.
Legacy Heating and Cooling jingle auditions take 1 for Gene Principe. Hey, thanks for being on time.
I'm always punctual. Now, how about some cool beats while I drop the heat?
Ready when you are.
Call Legacy. Call Legacy.
Nice.
Boom! I'm a musical genius.
Legacy's going to love this for AC season.
What's not to love with no interest and no Principe payments for 1 year?
Are you always like this?
Yep. Unlike Legacy, I never know when to cool it.
Legacy Heating and Cooling.
Kevin Carius, Low Tide, Jason Gregor. They are all ready for the Cup run. Sports 1440 is your home for all things hockey, including our pre- and post-game show with Andrew Walker. Sports 1440 is Edmonton's sports leader.
The locks are on a timer. They're going to get out.
Sounds like a job for the men and women of Action Electrical.
Service team reporting. With the remarkable reach of our bucket trucks and other equipment, we assess, service, and maintain your electrical lighting and automation systems.
Facing an electrical menace? Call the men and women of Action. Operating throughout Alberta at actionelectrical.net.
Dang, last season you bought new clubs to fix your game. You spent the entire season trying to learn how to hit with your magic clubs. And guess what? Dang, they didn't help your game. Now you're convinced it's your swing, but it really is your clubs. Even though you were told the ones you bought were the best ever made, if they were, you would have gotten better. Every day at Fitted Golf, we continue to prove the right clubs make all the difference in the world. From beginners to pros, Fitted Golf makes all the difference. Yes, fittedgolf.ca.
Explore Internet just got 10 times faster. 5G Ultra brings incredible speeds to homes in rural and small town Canada. Upgrade today at xplore.ca.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Crystal Glass, your clear choice for residential windows, locally manufactured and installed. Crystal Glass provides a beautiful product and incredible customer services for all of your residential needs. Call 310 Glass or visit crystalglass.ca for a quote.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
Al's in at 650. Welcome back. Mike is at 800, and now Zahir comes in at $1,000. Hey, it's a big game, buddy. Big game, and it's going to charity for Gregor Scratz. So thank you very much. 833-401-1440. 833-401-1440. You can text in your bid. 2 seats tonight. Oilers attack twice in the lower bowl, row 17, section 115. Great vantage point. And I can tell you, you'll love the people you sit around with. It's a great section. We are live at On the Rocks, Jasper Ave, and 118th Street, baby. The calm before the storm tonight. Now, if you are coming, because they're currently doing some repair work, so the entrance on Jasper and 118th, don't come in that way. Just come in the back way off of 100 and what would that be? 101st Ave, right? So just come in the backside of On the Rocks. Because anyway, if you go down Jasper, you just won't be able to turn on 118th. Just giving you the update. So it's much easier. Just come in, turn a little bit earlier out of 116th and go down that way, and away you go. So just a little bit easier to save you some time on your way here. Now, let's get to our big guest of the day, big guest du jour, if we like to say, brought to you by Silent Ice Sports and Entertainment. Very excited to open up their new rink for the Spruce Grove Saints and Spruce Grove Minor Hockey. They'll be officially ready to roll later this summer. Of course, the Saints will be playing there. Lots of other kids will be playing there. Man, it's going to be an awesome addition to the community from Silent Ice Sports and Entertainment. As we welcome in former NHLer, two-time author, stars in Shoresy as Hitch, Terry Ryan joins us. TR, how you doing?
Good. I just drove to Bancroft, Ontario from Toronto. I'm giving a speech to some high school students at North Hastings High School here in about an hour.
So when you do a speech, do you have like a PowerPoint presentation here? Is there videos of you in Shoresy? Is there videos of you karaoke and what's going on?
Whatever they want. Honestly, I don't even know how some of these people find me. But I just go, and honestly, at this point, I have an idea. I mean, I don't want to seem like I'm not prepared, because I am, but I don't have anything written down. They want to know, these people are, Loyalist College is putting it off. So, some people want to go to college. They don't know what they really want to do. For me, I mean, going and choosing the NHL, I mean, it kind of chooses you. I'm not going to I mean, I guess some people would. I don't know many that would choose, schooling at that point when you just sign a big contract in the NHL. It was my focus. It was my livelihood, generational type possible stuff. So, I focused on that. But I always knew I'd go back to school at some point. And I grew up and I took it real serious. And I guess, I kind of stumbled into university, but I quickly found my way. And it doesn't surprise me. I'm in the arts now. Acting as Hitch, yes, that is a surprise. But I figured I would probably end up on that side of the tracks, and a lot of people just want some direction, so I'll go. And at the end, we'll do a Q&A. So, each person specifically probably will have something I relate to. So usually that's what these are all about.
All right. The playoffs, the Edmonton Oilers, TR, the last few games have been complete domination. I really believe that the LA Kings, their coaching staff right now, as good as the Oilers are playing, I think the Kings are getting out-schemed and out-coached. The Oilers made adjustments to their game, and we've seen it in the last few games. They've ramped up the physical play. They're dumping and placing the puck at certain time. And the Kings, I don't think they've made any changes, right? They sit there and they're like, you know what? We're going to be passive. We're not going to forecheck. We're going to sit back. Oh, if we get a lead, well, now we're going to sit back even more. And I'm like, how the hell has that worked out? It's never worked out. You've never beat this team, and you're on the verge of losing again. Like, are you stunned at the lack of adjustments coming from the LA coaching staff?
I really am, because it was, palpable with the Oilers. You could see adjustments happening. And at the beginning, by the way, I said Oilers in 6 when it was the last time I was on this show, and they were going back to Edmonton. I just want to point that out, down 0-2. But anyway, the Oilers, when it started, it's almost like, I can't put my finger on it. The best way I can say it is that they didn't have like an identity. And I know now the Oilers obviously have an identity, and all older players, but like Kane and Frederick just came back and like they were hitting, and are they going to be a hitting team? Because like they didn't do much of it. And are two guys going to sway it? Where is the veteran presence going to take over here? McDavid, the end of that first game, it was obviously, that's the best player in the world, put the team on his back. But other than that, there were periods like, what are they? But they really put it together. They've adjusted. Right down to the timeouts. You got to give Knobloch credit there. They've mixed and matched on the power play. They've gotten different. It didn't start great, but they've scored in different ways from there. And dirty goals from in front of the net, and Bouchard with a couple of bombs that are pretty typical. So, it seems to me that they're thinking on the fly. And yeah, one might say that there's a degree of luck there, but it's just the timing of the goals. Luck, you got to work hard to have luck, and I don't see much luck. Timely goals per se, or you might say, but I think we're exactly where we should be, 3-2 Oilers.
So if you're the Edmonton Oilers, and TR, you played the game a lot, it is rare to have a game where you completely control the game start to finish. We always hear, hey, play 60-minute effort. Okay, we get it. But the other team should put in an effort at some point, and that means they're going to have shifts or sequences where they're the better team. That really didn't happen against the Kings. The Kings scored a power play goal 8 seconds into their power play on just a simple point shot, the nice deflection by Kuzmenko, and then that was it. The Oilers had the next 7 shots. They scored a goal. It's rare, especially in the playoffs, to see one team completely control a game start to finish. How does LA come back from that?
Well, and it's textbook momentum, right? Like, you're looking at LA. A lot of it, they're just tentative. Like, they don't know what to be doing. They've defeated themselves in their head when it comes not just like approaching a period, but a shift or a play. They're going in the corners tentative. People that otherwise aren't. You look at the command that they showed in the first couple of games. And even, for most of that third game, like you're saying, there was points that LA really turned it on, and they still were a confident group. Now they're sitting back. They're questioning themselves. It's very obvious. And if you're if you're a believer in momentum, which most of us are, that spend any time being fans of the sport, then you've got to think that, the Oilers are in the Kings' head right now. And no matter what happens, they're kind of second guessing themselves. If you're the Kings, you're really hoping to come out and get an early one, because the longer the game goes even tied, I think favors the Oilers.
Terry Ryan joins us, Sports 1440, Oilers Nation, YouTube, Facebook, and X. And then you've got the Edmonton Oilers, TR, who a team that knows how to close out a series. They're 5-0 when they have a chance to clinch in games 5 and 6. And then they're 2-2 in game 7s, where both teams have a chance. So they're pretty good. Then you've got the Toronto Maple Leafs, and you're in Ontario right now. And the Leafs are 1-13 since 2018, which is almost impossible to think that could happen. They blew a 3-1 lead to Toronto. They blew a 3-2 lead to Boston. They blew a 3-2 lead to Tampa Bay. We go down the list. They've blown 2 games here to Ottawa. Now they're still up in the series, and I actually still think they're the better team than the Senators. However, Ottawa's goalie showed up here in game 5, played very well. What do you make of the Leafs? And is it just too much of here we go again, where their big guns have suddenly shot blanks in the last few games?
First of all, I find it bizarre. That 1-13 stat, and I think they're 0 for 30 on the power play in that time. Like 0 for 30. The worst it possibly could be. You could put 5 players from the Federal Hockey League there, and the odds are they're going to shoot one at the net, and it's going to hit someone's groin and bounce in the air. It's going to go in. That's an hour of play if it's only 2 minutes. I can't believe that those players can't do it. Secondly, the 1-13, what's crazy about that to me is that I could almost see it if you had a team that was borderline and just snuck into the playoffs, and that was their overall playoff record so far in like 3 or 4 years. But to be 1-13 in elimination games, you must have won 3 games already in the series. So you're talking that you're really crapping the bed there. It's not just get to the playoffs and fold over. It's we get to the point that we can close teams out and just can't close it. And most of these times we're ahead going in. I find it bizarre. And what's crazier about it is that the series started. I'm reading all these advanced stats, and I'm sitting there with my buddy, and we really watched. And these guys, like Matthews came out hitting, like he's winning faceoffs. It looks like the guys care when you're watching them, which you couldn't say probably if you were a Senators fan in the 90s, you could probably say Alexei Yashin has taken a lot of shifts off, right? Now you could maybe still, I guess, Nylander didn't have a great game last. He looks disengaged at times, but that's Nylander. That's what's wild to me is when they're playing. They look like they can. They score and they just go mad. So it's not like they don't care, but something in that brain, it has to be something, just can't close it out. And it must be mental more than it is anything else. But, you still, if you're looking at this series and you're trying to be objective, which is hard to do. And if you're a Leafs fan, I totally understand why you would doubt everything. But it's still 3-2. You look over at, I don't know, the Golden Knights are up on Minnesota, and you're like, okay, someone would have called it in 6, and people aren't panicking. But I get why there's panic here, but it still is 3-2 for the team that many called we're going to win in 6. So we'll see what happens. But this is the time. If these guys don't come through in the next 2 games somehow, then I don't know how you possibly go back with the same core. I really don't.
Well, same cores, same coaching staff, just really the same overall system. Now, Rob Blake, we're talking LA, but Toronto has to change their core guys if they don't win. Now, I still think, excuse me, Toronto could win. I was kind of focused on LA there for a sec, but hey, their GM doesn't have a contract, and their head coach might be gone because they've lost the same way. Different than Toronto because they've never they were up, I guess, the first year 3-2 on the Oilers, but after that they've never really been ahead. I look at the Leafs and I look at the last game, and Mitch Marner, he in those elimination games, he's got no goals.
Yeah,
he's got 6 assists. You can't have a team that's built, and when you pay guys that much money, that's why I said in Edmonton when everyone's freaking out, I said the Oilers aren't built for their goaltenders to steal them games. They just need solid goaltending. Calvin Pickard's been very good. He hasn't had to be great. He's been very good. That's how Edmonton's built. Toronto's not built that way. Toronto's built 11 million, 12 million, 11 million for all their big guys. That's how they're built. So they're those guys have to lead us, and they're not leading them in crunch time.
Yeah, this is why. Like, honestly, there's something as an athlete. These guys that push for all the money, I mean, it's all the more power to you. 95% of people do it. But as an athlete, I just find it can come back to haunt you, karma or something. They all push for the most possible they could get. Now, everybody knows that. And every time it comes to this situation, I'm not saying it's the ghost of Christmas past or anything, but I don't know. There's something out there. It's like Vladdy Guerrero. Okay, here you go. Here's $500 million. Has he got 3? I just take a little bit less. So like if you're Marner and you took whatever he took, I can't remember. Let's say it was 11. It's around there. You know, if he just took like 10.3, people would have gone, whoa, the hometown discount. What? You know, all for like $700,000 or $200,000, whatever it came down to. I just find it can come back and bite you. Am I calling these people selfish? No, I'm certainly not. You got to take care of yourself. But, you know, and a lot of people do. I would never judge them. Most athletes do. But I'm just telling you personally, me, once it starts to get public and tensions rise, I don't know. I'd always err on the side of the low end there because you kind of bring it on yourself otherwise. Like, show us now. It's all good. No, he had a nice, I'm talking Marner here, and a nice assist with Connor McDavid. They combined 4 nations. Rah, rah, let's do it. But if you're a Leafs fan and you're seeing all this money go, you know, the way of the dodo, you're never advancing beyond the first round. I guess an outlier that 1 year, the second. Then I don't know. But now the other thing is I'm as bad as anybody here talking like this because they should win tonight. These players should succeed. There's no reason that they shouldn't. And, you know, the world keeps spinning and expectations are risen to.
Terry Ron joins us. TR, Mark Scheifele last night. Shen gets him with a big hit first. He comes back, plays 6 more minutes. Then he gets hit again by Faxa. I don't know if that was more of a collision, just 2 guys not seeing each other, kind of ran into each other. Either way, he's out. He's not on the trip to St. Louis for Game 6. A, what'd you make of the hits? B, how big of a loss do you think that is for the Jets?
Well, yeah, the second one, I didn't think, I thought that was more accidental. As far as the Jets losing Scheifele is massive. Like, but let's just give them credit here, right? They finished where they did for a reason. They're a really deep team. I mentioned momentum. Obviously, it takes a little bit away when you lose one of your best players and really one of the best players in the league consistently over the last number of years. And the way he got hurt wasn't good, but I still got complete faith in the Jets, and knock on wood, he's not hurt too bad. But they're the better team here. St. Louis, it doesn't surprise me with the way they finished that they're giving them a go, but it's Winnipeg. And I know if you're a Jets fan, you've probably got no reason to believe, given past performances in the last few years. But I have every belief they're going to win tonight. Well, I put money on them. There you go.
You look at the other series, Colorado, Dallas. Like Colorado, man, if they somehow don't win this series, when they made all the in-season changes and Dallas doesn't have Heiskanen, they don't have Robertson. Oof, that's going to be a bitter pill for them to swallow in that one. That's a huge game. And then Minnesota, Vegas, man, like Minnesota's given everything it can handle. Vegas is, everybody talks about their defense. They have had the worst environment in front of their goalie of any team so far in the playoffs. The expected save percentage of Aiden Hill is .864 of their team, but Hill's played very well. Do you think Minnesota can push this to 7 to maybe create the upset, or is Vegas still good enough to find a way to win because they got Hill?
Yeah, I mean, first of all, I'm giving total respect to Vegas here, but I think, of course, Minnesota can do it. I think they're underrated. They come at you and talk about playing with momentum. You know, they're the type of team that draws a lot of penalties because they just keep moving their feet. And I think by committee, they can beat anybody. I really do. I think they're underrated and probably the most underrated team in the playoffs. When it comes to Colorado, Dallas, we knew this. We knew it, right? That one of these teams was going to be gone. And either team, I mean, you could make a case any team that makes the playoffs can win the Stanley Cup, obviously. But a lot of people had one or the other on their bingo card for the whole thing. So, I mean, I don't know. Do you blow it up? I don't think you do that. It's probably going to be unfortunate as a hockey fan. One of them's gone. I know what you mean. Dallas got these big injuries, and still, if they win, I mean, if you're Colorado, it doesn't look great, but just with the players they have, the moves they just made, there's a level of settling down. I think you at least give it another year with these players. They're a great team, and still could win. And if they were to come out of it, it wouldn't surprise me if they won the Stanley Cup.
TR, as always, buddy, good chatting with you. Have a good weekend. We'll talk to you on Tuesday.
Thank you. Thank you, Connor. Thank you, Jason. Thank you, Edmonton. Go Oilers. See you guys soon.
There you go. That's Terry Ryan. Join us. We are live at On the Rocks, Jasper Ave, and 118th Street. If you missed it, no lineup changes for the Oilers or the LA Kings are expected tonight. The Oilers, look for them. Their defense is going to rotate like they have been. They kind of go with 5. Emerson plays 8, 10, 11 minutes, depends kind of how the game is going. Kulak, Nurse, Wallman, Bouchard, throw in Klingberg. They're all kind of rotating in with each other at times. Last game, Nurse kind of split most of his time with Bouchard and Kulak a little bit. I think he played 8:53 with Bouchard and 6:59 or something like that with Kulak. So you see guys moving around all over the place. As Jake Wallman told me, no one's married. There's no pairs that are married to each other, and it's working for the Edmonton Oilers. We'll take a quick break. You want a little celebratory option? We'll tell you about a few next when we return on the Gregor Show, presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
Are you looking for safe and professional travel options? Look no further than Silent Rides, one of Alberta's premier bus charter companies. Whether your group is big or small, Silent Rides has you covered. We offer state-of-the-art motor coaches, first-class service, and affordable rates. Get your quote today. For more information, call 1-877-748-0991 or visit silentrides.ca.
A pizza from Papa John's is already pretty great, but you know what's even better? 2 pizzas from Papa John's. For a limited time, get a medium 1-topping pizza for only $6 when you order any large specialty pizza at regular price. The works, the meats. Pick your favorite specialty pizza and get even more delicious Papa John's to enjoy. Whether you're feeding your family, your team, or yourself, get your next meal from your locally owned and operated Papa John's. Better ingredients, better pizza. Papa John's.
Legacy Heating and Cooling jingle auditions take 1 for Ryan Nugent-Hopkins and Zach Hyman. Are you ready, guys?
We were born ready. Heck yes, Nuge. Drop the beat. Legacy. We freaking killed it, Nuge. That's what I'm talking about, Zachary Martin Hyman.
Nice guys. We're going to sell a lot of air conditioners.
Hey, doesn't Legacy offer no payments and no interest for a year on those?
Yeah, well, thanks for the assist on the copy points there, Nuge.
It's just what I do.
Legacy Heating and Cooling.
We've finished construction of our gamma radiation containment facility. Is it up to code? Is it going to be safe?
Sounds like a job for the men and women of Action Electrical.
Testing team reporting. We test your commercial operations using tools like infrared to ensure safe operation. Trust us to prevent potential calamity before it strikes.
Facing an electrical menace? Call the men and women of Action. Operating throughout Alberta at actionelectrical.net.
Scott McGilvery here, HGTV host and renovation expert. The one upgrade I know homeowners will love: better, fresher Culligan water straight from the tap. Culligan's Aquessential reverse osmosis filtration system takes your water to the next level. With up to 7 stages of filtration and 14 filter options, they're certified to reduce over 90 contaminants. Your tap water is about to get a major upgrade. Safer water that tastes great. Get started with a free in-home water test at Culligan.com. Culligan, water you love.
Whether you're a craft beer connoisseur or more of a wine aficionado, there's always something new to discover at Sherbrooke Liquor, a unique, family-owned, independent liquor store. The selection, incredible. The non-alcohol section is also very impressive. Sherbrooke Liquor, expert, knowledgeable staff with a passion for unique finds. More than just a liquor store, we're a community. Alberta's best, the one and only Sherbrooke Liquor. Wine, spirits, and oodles of beer. Visit SherbrookeLiquor.com.
At Sherwood Honda, you'll find the true north traits Canadians are known for. Friendly? Check. Reliable? Check. Canadian made? Here's how you check. If the first digit on the VIN number is a 2, that Honda was made here in Canada, like the Honda Civic, CR-V, and CR-V Hybrid. Sherwood Honda has a whole lot of 2s for you to choose, a whole lot of spirit, and a whole lot of reasons your heart sure would be glowing when you pay them a visit.
It's Canadian Tire's Big Spring Tire Sale. Save up to 30% on quality brands like Michelin, Continental, and Motomaster until May 7th. Conditions apply. Details online.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Japa Machinery. Japa is digging deep on their 50-year history of supporting Alberta's construction industry with their line of special edition blackout excavators. Visit japamachinery.com for all the details.
Tricks, touchdowns, and home runs. Get it all with the Jason Gregor Show on Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
Well, fitting tune for the con man. Welcome back as we are live at On the Rocks, Jasper Ave, 118th Street. Of course, it is game day. Oilers taking on the Los Angeles Kings, pivotal game 6. Oilers win, and they are moving on to take the winner of Vegas and Minnesota, which both teams play tonight. So there would be a chance, potentially, that the next round, if both win tonight, could start as early as Sunday. So we'll see how everything plays out. I wouldn't be surprised to see Washington and Carolina get going on Saturday, just because it's a Saturday night. They want to see how things are going, although there could be a game 7 then as well. And that wouldn't be the first time where we have series kind of overlapping. One starts before another one ends. Usually if you go all the way to game 7, you're playing 2 days later. That's usually how it works in the NHL. Now, live at OTR, Jasper Ave, 118th, your place to watch the game. Oh, do you want to go to the game? We have Ryan, the coffee guy, up to $1,200 for our sweet pair of seats. Lower bowl, Oilers attack twice tonight, and all going to the Gregor Foundation. So if you want in, 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440. We'll end that before 5, so you have lots of time. Now it is Thirsty Thursday, brought to you by Sherwood or Sherbrooke Liquor. 2 locations, the OG location on St. Albert Trail on 118th Ave, and then, of course, on the south side, 92nd Ave and 50th Street. Steve Bazan joins us. We're here at OTR, and Cinco de Mayo is coming up right away. There's going to be lots of people who love that. It's a big celebration. So you decided to be fitting of that day, Steve, my man, and we're going with tequilas today.
We're doing tequilas, man. Four different tequilas. I chose, this is some of my favorite tequila that we have in the whole store, and it's some really nice sipping tequilas. So
okay, well, so this is not like what I used to have when I was young, Jose Cuervo at the bar, where you needed to suck on a lemon and then inhale some salt just to drink it.
This is a little bit different. Yeah, this is a little bit different. So this is indicative of where the tequila industry is right now.
Okay.
Tequila is it's just on fire. It's so hot right now in North America. The sales are just exploding. It's catching up to whiskey as the most popular spirit.
Really?
Yeah. And it's, and this is a kind of a snapshot of why that is.
Okay.
Like this little lineup here.
So what are we going with first here?
So number 1, I thought we would start with the best tequila in the world. This is the
best tequila. Wow. What is it?
It's a big statement. But so it's Don Fulano.
Don Fulano. Anybody who's watching online. Ooh, Don Fulano.
It's the Fuerte.
Did they win an award or something?
Yeah. So the San Francisco Spirits Competition is one of the most renowned spirits competitions internationally. And this past year, this particular bottle won the best tequila in the entire show.
Don Fulano.
Don
okay,
Fulano.
Well, geez, you've set my standards pretty high here.
Yeah. So be careful with this one. It's a high proof. It's a high proof tequila, so it comes in at 50%. But this is a Blanco tequila. Yeah, man.
Holy cow!
So you want to take your time with this one.
Oh, that is not. You're not doing well. I guess you could do a shot of that, but oh my god!
You could, yeah.
I took a sip of it, and my chest cavity is heated right up instantly.
Yeah, it's a big one. So similar to what we were
Tastes
talking
good though.
about.
I will say, like it's smooth, because some tequila. Anybody out there, when you were younger, you go to the bar and you have that tequila because it's cheap, and that one's like it bites you. This doesn't bite, but it's just like.
It's got a ton of flavor, and this is like I said, it's a Blanco tequila. So we'll go through the main different expressions of tequila. So I thought we'd start with the Blanco. Again, this is a high proof one, so it's a little bit more complex, a little bit more heat on it than a regular Blanco.
So when you say high proof, 50% alcohol, I'm reading it.
50%.
100% proof. So when someone reads a bottle and it says 100 proof, what does that mean?
You just divide it by 2, and that will be your alcohol percentage.
Okay, so if it's 60 proof, it's 30%.
Exactly.
If it's 80 proof, okay.
Exactly.
Well, that's pretty simple. Even Rashog could do that math. Well, maybe not, but he'd be close.
Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, and so this is everything I chose today is an additive free tequila, which is very, very important, especially if you're starting to get into this premium tequila world, to recognize what that term means and how it translates into the bottle that you're considering to buy. So just a little bit about tequila if there's some novices out there. So it's a distilled beverage made from the agave plant
in
Mexico. tequila could only be made in a few regions in Mexico, namely the state of Jalisco,
Okay.
and a few neighboring regions.
Now, why can it only be made there?
It's similar to how champagne can only be made in that region.
I get it. Yeah.
So the deal with tequila, it has to be made with at least 51% blue agave, which is a specific type of agave.
All right.
What they don't have to put on the bottle is they could put up to 1% different additives. So this is different flavorings, artificial flavors, sugar, artificial coloring, that sort of thing. So a lot of tequila, I don't want to name any brands in particular, but a lot of the big tequila brands will add some of these additives to it.
So you want one, if you want good tequila, you want to read the bottle. It says no additives.
Look for a bottle that says 100% agave.
Ooh, this is what this one says. 100% Puro do agave. Oh,
yeah.
My French background.
Yeah. If you see that, that's what you want to look for.
Right there, Madame Chofin. Didn't think I was good in French class. Well, just proved you wrong, didn't I?
There you go. So Blanco, that sort of gives the most pure expression of what the agave flavor is. So you get a little bit of pepperiness, a little bit of earthiness, some citrus.
And for the record, Madame Chofin, it was math class that I was not good at once. So she was great. Okay, so what are we doing next here?
So number 2 is the Arte Nom
1440. Ooh, 1414. Well, this one should be great. It's like 1440. Ooh,
yeah.
1414.
Yeah, it's very close there.
Okay.
Yeah. And so this is a reposado, which means it was aged in barrels anywhere up to 1 year. So more than 2 months and less than 1 year is what a reposado is. So you'll get a little bit more of an oak barrel character to it.
Right.
So a little bit, a little nuttiness.
Yeah, it definitely tastes a little sweeter.
Yeah.
Than the first one. Kind of easier to go down. Doesn't necessarily mean it's better, but easier to go down.
Reposados are so smooth. So if you're looking for just a really smooth,
good
easy
sipper.
drinking reposado, it's kind of right in the middle. Okay. You still get a little bit of the agave flavor, but it's smoothed out. It's a little more round from the barrel aging. So this one, I wanted to point out what the 1414 means.
Yeah.
So there's always a 4-digit code on a bottle of tequila. A lot of times it's kind of hidden. It's almost like a secret little code. This one they put right front and center.
1414.
Yeah, 1414. So what that denotes is the nom, and you'll see that it's Arte Nom. So NOM, and the nom is each distillery that produces tequila has a specific 4-digit number, and they call it the nom. So a lot of different brands they distill out of specific distilleries, and you'll see the nom number usually somewhere on the label. So a lot of the tequila geeks, a lot of the aficionados will really like specific distilleries more than brands per se. So they'll be looking at the bottle and trying to find, I love 1414 tequila. So they'll look for different brands and see where it's actually produced.
So you can have this. So you'll have a different a different name on the bottle, but it's produced in the same place.
Exactly. Yeah. So each distillery has kind of its own, production techniques, own equipment, own philosophy around making tequila. So you'll get certain aspects of that, but under different brand names. So, so yeah.
Well, I like, the 1440 was definitely 1414. There was what's it called?
The Arte Nom. So the art of the nom.
Art of the nom. Okay. And it was definitely a little nuttier, I found, for me. Easier to go down than the first one, but not necessarily better. As far as the first one was like, whew. Now maybe it's because it was my first tequila sip. I don't really drink tequila at 2:50 in the afternoon. Now we're only sipping for anybody out there listening, just trying it. But
tasters.
I could see how they're very different, though. If I had a big, now if you're going to have tequila, because the thing about these tequilas, these aren't shooters. You can these are sippers.
These are sippers,
right?
Yeah.
And you put a big ice cube in it, away you go, and they're going to taste very different. And I would think over time, like the Fulano, I actually think I like the flavor of it better.
Yeah.
And the ice cube might just dull it a bit.
Yeah, totally. And a lot of people are gravitating towards the Blancos nowadays.
Okay. Which is basically a white tequila.
Which is a white tequila, so not aged in oak barrels. And I think that's because you get that pure, like you really taste where the tequila comes from. You get that pure agave flavor. But that being said, we can move on to the Añejo now. Añejo. So this is from probably my favorite tequila brand, my favorite tequila distillery, Cascawin. Cascaween. So this is from Nom 1123.
Okay.
And that's Cascaween's distillery. But you'll see 1123 is a very coveted Nom from. So we get a lot of the tequila geeks come into the store and look at the back of the bottle and try to find 1123, the stuff that comes from Cascaween.
I think I might like that one the best.
Yeah. So this is probably my favorite añejo that we have in the whole store.
Yeah. Clearly, the guys in San Francisco got it wrong on Don Fulano, best tequila in the world. Like, it's pretty good, but man, this is tasty. It's got enough of a bite. If you're gonna have a sipper tequila, usually if you have a sipper, I guess maybe some people like super sweet stuff, but you want it. The reason it's a sipper is because it's not just gonna go down super easy. But man, that tastes very good.
It's so nice. And so añejos are aged in oak a lot longer than the other expressions.
Okay.
So sometimes you could get ones that are super oaky, or super like a lot of vanilla flavors from the barrel. This one, you get a little bit of that, like a little bit of cinnamon, a little bit of spice, a touch of vanilla, but you still taste that earthy, peppery agave. And I think that's just a testament to how
you're a little bit better on the descriptive part of it.
It takes time. It takes time. You just gotta
peppery.
Yeah.
Once you say it, I'm like, yeah. But I never would have picked that one.
Yeah, like black pepper, even like spicy jalapenos a little bit. It would be great for pairing with food, and you can make really great cocktails with this one too.
Was that's a question, because we had a few people text in. What's the best tequila that you make in a drink that's a mix? Because does the mix automatically ruin it, and so you can't tell the difference?
Well, it's for a lineup like this. I'd like, if you really want to elevate your cocktails, you could go with something like this. There's definitely brands out there that are additive free, made in small batches that are tailor-made to making cocktails. So you have your classic ones, your margaritas, and palomas, that sort of thing. Or you can even, like we did last week, the old fashions, like having an añejo like this, incorporated into your old fashioned is great. So yeah, just there's certain brands that I would recommend that you pick up. They are a little bit less expensive than these bottles too, and they make excellent cocktails as well.
Now, what do we got last here today for our tequila Cinco de Mayo? As we joined Stephen Bazan joins us from Sherbrooke Liquor.
Cinco de Mayo. Okay, so
is this coconut?
It's a coconut tequila. Ooh. So we talked a lot about additive free tequila, and we're just throwing that out the window here for this.
Okay.
So we're going with the wild card here. Originally, I was really hoping to bring a peanut butter tequila for you.
I love peanut butter.
Yeah, because there's one on the market right now. It's so popular we haven't been able to get it, but this one is just as good in a lot of ways. So there's a few coconut tequilas on the market. A lot of those ones, again, will use artificial flavoring, just lots of sugar, that sort of thing. This one uses a more traditional recipe, so it's made with freshly ground coconut.
God, that is really good.
Raw sugar.
Are you kidding me? The no dough?
No,
I'm gonna say it's a yes dough for me. That is very good.
Yes dough. And so the name no dough is in reference. So this actually technically isn't a tequila. Like I said, tequila has to be made in certain regions.
Okay.
So this is like 5 minutes outside of an official tequila zone. So they still use the same ingredients. It's still a similar climate, but they're just like down the road from where they could call themselves a tequila. So this is an agave spirit.
And so because for anybody, you can probably get, when you shake the bottle, it's almost like it's got like smoke coming into it. It's like a little bit of fog. What is that?
Yeah,
it looks unreal.
Yeah, so it's unfiltered. So that's just the particles, the little coconut bit. So it's a natural product. It's not going to be,
that's a party trick right there. Because honestly, as it's spinning around after as I just twist the bottle, then it looks like the fog inside is swirling up through the bottle.
I had it in these lights here at OTR with the bright lights on the stage. It's getting some good pictures.
That would be a great party thing. Like, people you get them, they'd be mesmerized on that. So, this is a Nodo tequila, coconut flavor, and I'm telling you,
and we have it kind of close to room temperature, but throw this guy on ice. And just be super refreshing. And again, great for cocktails.
It definitely has the least amount of bite for anybody who wants. Is this a good introductory then for somebody who's like, geez, tequila, I've always had a negative connotation from it. It's too hard, bites, yada, yada, yada. Is this the way to kind of get you in?
Would definitely recommend this one, because you aren't going to get the harshness that comes with the raw agave flavors and everything. But you do get some of it. And again, it's all natural ingredients. It's made in small batches, a really small company. It's great to support the family run companies out of Mexico. And
I might have to talk to Dr. Wang and Dave and get the Nodo on tap here at OTR. I can tell you that. That would be quite the celebratory shot for anybody. I'm telling you, you go out to Sherbrooke Liquor and you get the Nodo coconut tequila. for your game nights when you have a hosting it to the parties. I'm telling you, just for the bottle and the swirling. That's all you need. Turn the lights off in your house. If you have one bright light in there, it's going to look great.
A little ambience.
Yeah, it looks awesome. So
yeah, I dig it.
I like it. Well, Cinco de Mayo, it's some options. We always put it up on our socials. I'm sure Buck will show you the pictures of it if there's any of the bottles that you would like. Remember, the Don Fulano was ranked at number 1 tequila. Then you've got 1414, the Cascaween.
Party on the Hill, that translates.
Party on the Hill.
Yeah.
Ooh, jeez. The old Beaumont days, party on top of the hill, baby. I like it. Awesome. Then, of course, the no-do, which is a yes-do for me. Stephen, great stuff, man. We appreciate it as always. Have yourself a great week and enjoy Cinco de Mayo.
Yeah, thank you, and enjoy game day today.
Oh,
should be a good one.
Should be a good one for sure. We are live in OTR, Jasper Ave, and 118th Street, and it's a yes go for you to OTR tonight. Of course, call, make a reservation. You want to get a seat because it's going to be packed. It's Thursday night. They'll have the game on, and afterwards is a little bit of dancing because I'm telling you, gents, ladies, nothing spells romance like sports and dancing coming together at around 11 p.m. at On the Rocks. Let's get to the Con Man, a Sports 1440 update brought to you by Legacy Heating and Cooling. They're going to have to cool down the dance floor. Legacy would be here. No payments, no interest for 1 year on your AC unit at legacyheating.ca.
This is a Sports 1440 update.
It is game day. Edmonton Oilers taking on the LA Kings down at Rogers Place tonight. Puck drop just after 8 o'clock. We've got pregame coverage starting at 6 with Andrew Walker and Donovan Paulson. Elsewhere, Leafs looking to wrap their series with the Sens just after 5 at 5:30. The Wild trying to stay alive as they trail the Golden Knights 3-2. Then at 7:30, it's Dallas on the road taking on the Avs. Stars lead that series 3-2 in the association. Knicks up against the Pistons. That one gets going at 5:30. Then at 8 o'clock, Clippers and Nuggets meeting from Denver. Jets goaltender Connor Halley, Oilers forward Leon Draisaitl and Nikita Kucherov of the Tampa Bay Lightning announced today as the 2024-25 finalist for the Hart Trophy, given to the league's most valuable player. And the Anaheim Ducks are ramping up their coaching search for a successor to Greg Cronin, as former Oilers head coach Jay Woodcroft and Denver's David Carl have been interviewed and have contact with former Penguins bench boss Mike Sullivan. Also, former Chicago Blackhawks head coach Joel Quenneville is set for a second interview with the team. In the WHL, the Chiefs can advance to the final if they get past the Winterhawks tonight, leading 3-0. Puck drop on this one set for 8 o'clock. And Major League Baseball, Toronto Blue Jays looking to make it 2 straight against the Red Sox. First pitch set for 5:07. Right now, Guardians and Twins tied it 2 apiece in the top of the 8th. And in the bottom of the 9th, the Athletics have a 3-0 lead over the Rangers. Earlier today, Cubs knocked out the Pirates 8-3, and it was the Reds over the Cards 8-1. Coming up in hour 2 of the Jason Gregor Show, we will be joined by LA Kings analyst Jim Fox, and coming up next it is Dave Jackson, ESPN NHL rules analyst. I'm Connor Halley. This has been a Sports 1440 update.
It's Sports 1440, a Stingray radio station broadcasting on Treaty 6 territory.
Download the free iHeartRadio app and listen to CKJR wherever you go.
Hey, Alberta. The all-new Play Alberta app is here. Casino, sports betting, lottery, all in one app, right on your phone. And because it's Play Alberta, you know it's safe, secure, and reliable. Download it now and play over 500 online casino games, live dealer tables, and unique games you'll love. Plus, bet on sports from anywhere in the province. You in? Download Play Alberta now from your phone's app store and deposit using promo code OIL for a $100 casino bonus on the house. That's promo code OIL for a $100 casino bonus.
Thursday, May 8th is McHappy Day, when every menu item purchased at McDonald's helps support families with sick children. So you can feel the good that comes from doing good, just from ordering.
So if I order a Big Mac, I'm helping.
Yup.
What about a McFlurry? 10-piece chicken McNuggets and apple pie?
You got it. Every single order helps. Join us at McDonald's for McHappy Day on Thursday, May 8th. Do good, feel good. A portion of food and beverage sales will support RMHC chapters and local children's charities across Canada.
Find the perfect tractor for any job at Edmonton Kubota. Their massive selection of compact tractors has something for everyone, whether you're tackling small tasks or big projects. And right now, take advantage of 0% financing for up to 72 months. It's never been easier to get the power and reliability you need. Come down to Edmonton Kubota today and drive away with the tractor that's just right for you. Edmonton Kubota, where your perfect tractor awaits.
At Fountain Tire, we're all about one thing, taking care of your vehicle. Oh, and your wallet. I guess that's 2 things. Save up to 20% off select tires until June 14th. Fountain Tire. We're on this road together, Canada.
Cooperators can help make a retirement plan around your plans. Like the wait till that beach in Bali gets a load of 65-year-old me plan. Talk to us today about how to turn your retirement goals into retirement realities.
Looking for a local Cooperator's representative? Give Camrose Insurance Financial Solutions a call at 780-672-9251 and see the difference a personalized plan makes. Cooperators, investing in your future together.
Are you an HVAC or refrigeration company stressed about meeting your customers' temporary refrigeration needs? No need to worry. The solution is easy. Think Easy Chill Rentals. For repair, maintenance, or even special events, Easy Chill Rentals guarantees you a no-hassle, short or long-term solution for your Easy Chill provides mobile walk-in coolers and freezers to customers all over Western Canada. For sales and rentals, don't sweat it, just chill. With Easy Chill Rentals, visit easychillrentals.com today.
And on the rock.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Leading Edge Physio. The team in Old Strathcona have special training dedicated to reduce the impact of cancer care before, during, and after your diagnosis. From lymphedema to the management of fatigue and side effects of chemotherapy and radiation, they can help. Learn more at leadingedgephysio.com.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
Just after 3 o'clock. Welcome back, Jason Gregor, Connor Halley, with you on Sports 1440, Oilers Nation, YouTube, Facebook, X, and Instagram. It is game day 4. Game 6s tonight across the National Hockey League. Toronto, Ottawa, Minnesota, Vegas, Colorado, Dallas, and of course the Oilers and the Los Angeles Kings. And 4 teams can punch their ticket to the second round, or 4 can punch. A few of them can punch their ticket to Saturday night. Game 7. God, I hope there's at least one Game 7 on Saturday night. At least one. Be nice to have a few, but at least one. I don't think it's going to be Edmonton and LA, but you never know. That's what makes the playoffs so awesome. No one knows for sure what is going to happen. I do know this. Salsa night tonight and the Oilers game. When those two worlds collide, I'm telling you, it's greatness. If you want to have fun, watch the game, get down there to OTR. Salsa night comes on after the game. Sometimes even do it at intermissions, man. It is a party here. So you want to get in, make a call, book your table at OTR. Of course, the Gregor Show always presented by PlayAlberta.ca. And while you're nervous, you're like, oh my goodness, I don't know what's going to happen tonight. Well, you know what will happen? Somebody's going to win the Daily Grand, which is $1,000 a day for the next 20 years. Get your tickets at PlayAlberta.ca. Oilers, Kings, no lineup changes, but there are some changes. We've got a lot of questions we want to get to when it comes to officiating and rules, and no one better to get than former NHL ref, ESPN rules analyst, as we get to our rule report now. Brought to you by Legacy Heating and Cooling, home of the no payments, no interest for 1 year on your AC unit. LegacyHeating.ca. Dave Jackson joins us. Dave, welcome to the show, my man. How you doing?
I'm doing great, Jason. Thanks for having me.
Hey, man, I appreciate you coming on because, hey, I've talked to lots of officials over the years. I've learned a lot about different rules. So I want to start with kind of a basic one. And Oiler fans, now I know Leon Draisaitl likes to cheat. He says he likes to cheat, but there seems to be more of a focus on the face-offs now more than ever. And so can you explain what's the exact rule that's going to get guys kicked out now that they're focusing on more than they did in previous years?
Well, let me say, come playoff time, hockey's a possession game, right? I mean,
yeah.
If you win that puck in the draw, I mean, you start with the puck, that's how you generate offense. So there were 2 games last week, and we saw them. The linesman got hurt, and they had to bring in the standby referee to cover for the linesman. And both those referees, they're not linesmen. they didn't drop a puck. Not one of them did a face-off in the defensive offensive zones. Because it's so important that for consistency, the linesmen need to be consistent. Referees drop 3 pucks a game. So they had the linesmen go end to end when the referees were out there, just to show the players we're going to be consistent in all 4 face-off dots. What's getting guys kicked out is encroachment. The wingers come in from behind, and that's something that really frustrates the centerman. It's like, I'm doing everything I'm supposed to do here, and my wingers coming in behind me. But when it comes to the guys in the face-off dot, it comes down to they're more focused. They're trying harder, I assume, than in regular season. And the linesmen are focused. They're way more focused because they don't want a bad draw and that puck ending up in the net and then being blamed for it. So they're going to make sure. Now, their face-offs aren't going to be perfect, but they're darn sure going to be fair. It'll be fair for both teams. One team's not going to get advantage. Feet behind the line, square, and the stick stopped. Too many. What gets them tossed mainly? They come through without stopping. You need a defensive team down first. Offensive player comes in. He tries to time it. He's got to make that stop, even if it's a millisecond, really small window. But when you see guys getting tossed, they haven't put the stick down, stop. They've tried to sweep through and tried to cheat, and they're out, and they become wingers. So that's what it comes down to. If they could keep the feet behind the line, make an effort to stop, even that millisecond, you won't get tossed.
Okay. Now, in the Oilers game, last game, it looked like Quinton Byfield, he put his hands over the puck, but then and there was a ref right behind the net, Dave, but then his hand went down. But then he shielded the puck and you can't see exactly what happens. And then the puck goes out. I remember Kerry Fraser telling me the number 1 rule as a ref is don't guess. If you guess, you can't do it. So on that situation, is it like we assume his hand was going to fully cover the puck? What's the actual rule that's going to result in a penalty shot in that moment?
So like you, I'm watching that, and it sure looks like he tries to put his hand on the puck. Totally give you that. I'm watching from the in-net camera. I can't decide if he does or not. What you said about guessing, absolutely right. Like the risk versus reward there. You guess on some. I would rather live with a missed penalty or a missed penalty shot than guess wrong and award a penalty shot, possibly the deciding goal. Because you show footage 10 minutes, they find footage 10 minutes later and show we never did it, and you guessed on a penalty shot, the stakes are just way too high on that. The rule is you can't cover the puck. He's allowed to bat the puck. He can hit it like sideways. He can't put his glove over top of it. He can bat that puck out. And sure enough, as the whistle went, that puck squirted out into the slot. So much like you said, Jason, unless you're 100% sure, that's not something you're guessing on. I know it's frustrating. And nobody's saying, yeah, he probably did it. But if you can't show your work, you don't get marks for the arithmetic.
So, because he's putting his hand, it looks like he's putting his hand, but if he would have put his hand down and then turned it like this and then just pushed it, or even if he goes like this, Dave, as my fingers are kind of like a spider, right, over top, and he flicks it out, that's legal? Is that allowed?
No, if you have visual evidence, him putting the hands over top of it, that's a penalty shot. But if he comes in like this and pushes the puck, that's totally legal. So what I saw is he came in almost like you're trying to recover a fumble in a football game. Yeah. Landing on top. But once he did that, the puck disappeared. I have no idea how it happened, what happened to it afterwards, except that it ended in the slot when the whistle went.
But isn't that, by theory, covering the puck? You couldn't see the puck, so doesn't that mean it's covered?
It does and it doesn't. I mean, let's say he lands on his elbows and it's, it's underneath his chest, but he's not on top of it. He's got 12 inches of breathing room there. I mean, you answered the question to begin with. You can't guess. You have to see him do it. And in a lot of cases, it'll be one guy. He'll be behind the goaltender. The goaltender's out. He's trying to block a shot. It squeaks through. He puts his hand in the pocket, and it's black and white. Everybody sees it. That's a penalty shot. In ones like this, I mean, I can't fault the referee for not guessing there.
Dave Jackson joins us, former NHL referee. Of course, he's an ESPN rule and analyst joins us. And Dave, hits from behind are like my biggest pet peeve. The NHL, I thought, did a great job of eliminating headshots. We barely see them anymore. Like now when you see one, it's obvious. Ekblad did the chicken wing the other day, got a 2-game suspension. No one even debates. It's like, it's a suspension. We move on. Hits from behind seem to be the one that's like there's still a lot of uncertainty. I get that it's late in the game, but the Brandt hits in Evander Kane right from behind. There's no debate. Now, it wasn't into the boards, but it's right into the net. Sure. Should that have been a penalty?
If it's the one I'm thinking of, which all your fans in Edmonton blew my phone up. Yeah, I'm saying that's a penalty. I mean, that's a penalty. Regardless, I mean, time of the game shouldn't matter. If it's a penalty, I mean, I sat through many training camps where the commissioner would come and visit us. Mr. Bettman would be there, and as he's leaving, he'd tell guys, he'd go, "You guys know what a penalty is. If it's a penalty, call it, and you'll be supported. There's no conspiracy, but don't call it late in the game. Don't do. If it's a penalty, make sure it's a penalty. Don't guess. If it's a penalty, they want it called. Now, much like you watch minor hockey. Minor hockey has a minor penalty, hitting from behind.
Yes.
We don't have that. We don't have that in the NHL. Check from behind is only a major penalty. So you'll see, and that's to discourage guys from just turning their backs to draw a penalty, which does happen. I've seen it happen in minor hockey. Happens in college hockey. Guys see the guy coming, they turn their back. The onus is 100% on the guy making the hit, and he gets a minor penalty for checking from behind. We don't have that. I'm glad we don't. If it's a penalty and it's not worth 5, you can call cross-checking. You can call boarding. But the actual checking from behind rule, there's no minor penalty for it.
So it's all major.
If you call checking from behind, the checking from behind rule, there's no provision for a minor penalty. Yes.
Okay.
So that's sometimes you'll see a legal check out in open ice and center ice, and everyone goes, "Yeah, but it was from behind." It's too bad. He didn't charge him. He didn't cross-check him. He put his shoulder into him. There's no minor penalty for hitting a guy from behind.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good to know.
So
is that in theory then, Brant Clark? That's not like it's either a major or it's not, like, because it seemed like it was pretty blatant from behind, though.
No. In that case, I think you had options: interference, cross-checking. 2 minutes for interference, 2 minutes for cross-checking. I mean, you have lots of options in that toolbox. I'm specifically talking about the checking from behind rule.
Okay, fair enough. Dave Jackson joins us. Now, Dave, you mentioned it, and this is one because I'm agreeing with you that I firmly believe, like I hear they say, well, we don't want to impact the game. But if you don't call what's a clear infraction, well, then you are impacting the game just in a different way. So you were there. You were the guy who's in Stanley Cup finals. You're in big moments, and maybe it's natural if it's a tight game to say, God, like this has got to be a pretty blatant penalty for me to call it. Was that the mindset? Or were you like, because if we call, because we've seen some penalties in the first 10 minutes, guy hand on his stick or whatever, hook and call. And then the guy puts his hand on a stick with 5 minutes to go in a 1-1 game and it's not called. Is it just because at that moment it's got to be egregious, or should it still be called the same way?
Well, now we're talking the art of officiating and philosophy. I love what you said, because I always quote, it's a great line from Rush. If you choose not to decide, you still have made a choice, which is what you're talking. A lot of times early in a hockey game, you're trying to set a standard. You can't just say, well, everything looks good to me, nothing looks bad, because by the end of 60 minutes, nothing will look bad if you haven't called. So guys set the standard, whether it's scrums after the whistle, whether it's interference, whether it's holding. You say, guys, that's not going to go tonight. When you get the last 10 minutes of hockey game, there's no more trying to set a standard. You've set your standard. So if it's something away from the puck, non-violent, behind the play, guys are probably going to let that go because they're not trying to set a standard. If it's a penalty like you talk about, if it's a scoring chance, if it's a dangerous play, that needs to be called, regardless of what time of game it is. And you know what? In my career, there were times I overreacted. I called ones that weren't penalties late. Okay. That's a terrible feeling as well. A team scores on a power play and you're going, that was a really soft call. So I think what most guys do, the really good ones, is they breathe deep, they try and slow the game down, and they might raise their arm 1 or 2 seconds after it happens. They process it and make sure it's a penalty. But I do know they're instructed, if it's a penalty and it's overtime and and you see it, you call that penalty, because you need to be fair to the game.
And Dave, how does the evaluation, because I know the evaluation's ongoing all year long, and that's why some guys are playoff officials and some aren't. When you get in the playoffs, do you have a call with the advisor after every game in the playoffs to go over how the game was, good and bad?
You do. It's not a call. It's an in-person debrief. So what a lot of people don't realize is, other than the finals where it's 4 referees, 4 linesmen, and they do every game, in the first 3 rounds, you'll never see the same crew work 2 games in that series, unless it's maybe a game 7.
Right.
So guys go in, they work the game, they move on to another series. but there's a series supervisor, a retired referee who's now management. He's a liaison between the GMs, between the referees. He's there to evaluate. He's there to teach, there to coach. He'll have a pregame meeting, a lunchtime, or either you guys get to the rink, maybe 5 o'clock. He'll have a pregame meeting, and he'll advise the officials, referees, linesmen, everything that's happened, everything that's transpired. Now, he'll filter stuff out. You know, if a GM says, you tell that referee tonight this, he's not going to tell him that. He's going to filter it out. But he's going to make them aware of everything that's happened from the drop of the puck in game 1 up till now. And if there's been issues, let's say there were too many scrums and the referees didn't take care of it, or they did take care of it, they'll make them aware of that. They go, listen, the guys, the first 4 games, they've done a really good job on the scrums. You guys got to keep it up tonight. That's what the teams are expecting. Or maybe they'll say, last game, there was a lot of bumping the goaltender. It went uncalled. So tonight, I've told the GMs, you guys are going to be aware of it. So you guys got to go out there. Don't let me down. They've told the teams, you're going to be aware of bumping the goalie. Go out there and do your job. So they're told what to do. And then when that game's over, the same guy comes down and he goes over the game and discusses good calls, bad calls, missed calls, and it's a full debrief. And then when that round ends, the supervisors reports and the referee in chief, they get together and they decide who moves on in the next round. And it's not seniority. It's based on performance in that round. Not even your regular season. You can have a great regular season, gets you into the playoffs. Your performance in that round is what moves you on to the next round.
Dave Jackson joins us. Dave, last night in Winnipeg and St. Louis, we have a lot of people texting in. The Braden Shen hit on Scheifele, the Faxa hit was almost, to me, a collision. I don't know if that was like there's a hit, and then sometimes two guys don't see each other and they collide.
I agree.
What did you make of those two plays? And do you see a difference in the Shen hit to the Hagel hit on Barkov?
Oh, absolutely. As you said, the first hit I thought was more of a collision than anything. Guy bracing. The Shen hit, he's playing a guy who's just played the puck. Face to face, he should know that he's about to be hit. It's face to face. He should know who's on the ice. He just played the puck. Was it a bit late? They called interference. Yes, I think it was a bit late. Were the hands a bit high? That's debatable. It certainly wasn't a headshot. It was up in the upper chest area. I think if that puck's on his stick, that might not even be a penalty.
Right.
So 2 at the most. There's no way that's a 5-minute major there.
Yeah. Okay. And like when we say hits, like as an official in real time, because everything, it irks me sometimes when we watch the replays of hits in super slow motion. I'm like, dude, the ref can't watch the game in super slow motion, right? His eyes can't even watch the game in slow motion. So let's show the play at full speed. Of course, it always looks worse, and frame by frame, you're doing the running man. Of course, it's going to look worse.
Except for hooking and holding. I think when you show hooking and holding in slow motion, it looks really cheap. It's like, how do you call that? Look, you barely touched them. That you need to show in full speed for it to go, oh, yeah, that knocked him off stride.
Okay. Yeah, that's a fair point. Yeah, the slow motion I don't think helps anything really. Other than sometimes in the puck. But
the game isn't refereed in still frames. It shouldn't be. It shouldn't be debated in still frame.
Maybe we're talking the same language, my man. I agree with you. Like offside review should only be in real time. Not the linesman can't see it in super slow motion. Why are we expecting him to make the call? But I want to go back to the Shannon when you say it's a little bit less. Do you have like an internal stopwatch that's going on in your head when a guy plays the puck 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, and then like how do you know when it's a late hit or not?
I go back to what I said earlier, the art of officiating. You don't. It's one of those holy crap moments where you watch 1,000 plays a night. You might make 4 penalty decisions, but you've made a ton of other decisions to go, that's a clean play, that's not a clean play. Watch this guy. When you look at a hit like that, is the hit immediate? Because, going back 20 years, you'd count 1 steamboat, 2 steamboat, you'd still get away with making a hit. That's long gone. That's long gone. A hit needs to be when the guy has possession or immediately thereafter. So it just jumps out at you. When you're down on the ice, just the sheer violence of a major body check like that when you're close, it just jumps out at you and you react. You just throw your arm up and say, that was late. Now, sometimes you're too close. Sometimes you're 5 feet away and you might overreact. And then you watch it on video later and you go, yeah, that wasn't that late. But, you see it once in real time. You go with your gut and react.
Now, lastly, Dave, I see a lot of people talking about the officiate, and there's been a massive change in officiating. Like lots of guys retiring, yourself and many others here in a real short period of time. There's lots of new officials in. And I remember Gary Fraser telling me the number one reason that leads to most calls being missed is positioning. If you're not in the right position, you're not going to see what you should see. So when we have a lot of younger officials, are you seeing positioning at times an issue amongst NHL refs?
Well, you're absolutely right. Sight lines are key. And I talk about that on the broadcasts when people say, how did he call that? And I said, well, we had one the other night with the Ekblad play. And no one's disputing that's a penalty. The referee, the positioning, I think guys are very good at positioning, even the new guys coming in.
Okay.
What happens is this game is 10 times faster than when myself or Kerry were on the ice. It is so fast today that sometimes you just can't get out of your own way and out of the player's way. And that's what happened there. He's bumping up off the boards. He's got his back to it, and he turns, he catches the tail end of the hit. That's a sight line. He had no other place to go, and he didn't have the proper sight line. I mean, people can blame the referee, but it's just sometimes that's what happens. You're trying to stay out of the way. You got pucks zooming around your head at 90 miles an hour. You got big bodies out there, and you're trying to get out of the way. But you're absolutely right. If you have a good sight line, you should make that right call 99 times out of 100.
Dave, great stuff, man. I really appreciate it. We'll catch up with you again later on in the postseason. Enjoy the games tonight.
Well, I'm working the same game tonight, so I'll be enjoying the game as well.
Awesome. That's
Thanks,
Dave Jackson, ESPN NHL rules analyst, former NHL official. And, hey, how hit from behind is not a minor penalty in the NHL rulebook. So there you go. Only a major. Now, as he said, interference, he agreed that was a blatant miscall. That should have been a call on Evander Kane from Brant Clark. I think we'd all agree, but, you get a little confirmation from a former official. 326 will return. Former NHLer analyst for the LA Kings, Jim Fox. We're going to talk about the Kings and really, to me, their lack of adjustments in the series. Is it too late to make any? Will we see it tonight? We'll find out next. Jason Gregor, Connor Halley, live at On the Rocks, Jasper Ave, 118th Street. It's the Gregor Show, presented by PlayAlberta.ca. Get your tickets for the Daily Grand, PlayAlberta.ca.
Summit Restaurant, located in the heart of the Silent Ice Center and just minutes from South Edmonton Common. Summit is your destination for exceptional house-made pizza, delicious entrees, and expertly crafted cocktails. Experience the perfect blend of flavor and ambiance in a modern setting. Join us for a straightforward yet elevated dining experience where our commitment to quality speaks to every bite and sip. Make Summit Restaurant your next night on the town.
I won't shave till we bring home the cup. And I like to do a shot for every playoff goal.
My jersey's not coming off until we're the city of champs again.
Want a playoff superstition that always wins? Pick up a bag of Wilhauk beef jerky for every game. Because when it comes to the playoffs, where there's a Wilhauk, there's a way.
Make every playoff game a Will Hockey game day with Wilhauk beef jerky. Only available in Leduc. Get yours today because you don't bring home the cup with salad.
Grant Fedoruk here from Leading Edge Physiotherapy. Now, some people live with problems they don't have to because they might not know that we're here, the things we can do, and the issues we can help. Problems less talked about, like incontinence, vertigo, Bell's palsy, and lymphedema, or even things people live with every day, like shoulder, neck, and low back pain. So while a lot of people already know we have the people, tools, and technology to help you head to toe, I'm going to keep at this because if just one more person gets the care they need, then every penny we spend sharing what and who we can treat is worth it. Life shouldn't hurt. LeadingEdgePhysio.com.
I'm Colin Livingston, president of Cantork. Since 2016, we've been at the forefront of hydraulic torque wrenches in Canada. I'm delighted to share our latest venture, in-house production for quicker turnaround, superior quality, and heightened versatility. Experience excellence at Cantork.com.
Hey, sports fans, we've got a clear choice for you. At Crystal Glass, we provide customers with the perfect glass for any job. From home to auto and even commercial, installation or repairs, we're your team. Call 310 Glass or visit crystalglass.ca. Crystal Glass.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Sherbrooke Liquor. Sherbrooke is a house of curiosities, a mom and pop, a curated experience that is equal parts wine tastings and 2-4s for May long. See more at SherbrookeLiquor.com.
From puck drop to kickoff, it's the Jason Gregor Show on Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
329. Welcome back, Jason Gregor. Connor Halley, Sports 1440, Oilers Nation, YouTube, Facebook, X, and Instagram. Hope you're having a lovely Thursday. How about the weekend, boys and girls? 25 and 26 degrees outside. Hey, don't forget the sunscreen, okay? The last thing you want is to be the tomato. Burnt in the first weekend. Put some sunscreen on. Now, skin cancer is a thing. It's legit, but more importantly, the pain of the bad burn. First time, you're like, oh, yeah, the heat's beating down. You're loving it. It's great. Then you wake up the next day and you're all red. It's not good look. So make sure to mix in some sunscreen this weekend because 25 and 26, it's going to feel unbelievable. Oh. Nice. Now, let's get to the oil report brought to you by Volvo Cars Edmonton, where you can lease XC60 or an XC90 anywhere from 1.49 to 1.99% and save $3,500 extra on the XC60s, $5,000 on the XC90s from Canada's #1 Volvo dealership in sales, new car sales. That's VolvoCarsEdmonton.com. Oilers hosting the LA Kings, a longtime NHLer, longtime analyst for the LA Kings. Jim Fox joins us. Jim, welcome back to the show, my man. How you doing?
Jason, thanks for having me. I appreciate it. And, with the weather kind of switching around, this is LA weather. I guess it will have to switch around from Game 5 to Game 6. What do you think?
Well, hey, the Kings are going to want to hope so. My goodness, hey, you've done a lot of games. You played in a lot of games. It is rare to see a team never get momentum back in a game. Like, I don't see, the cliche is 60 minutes. One team never dominates or controls a game for 60 minutes, very rarely. But we saw that in Game 5. Like, Darcy Kemper kept that one close.
Yeah, and it was right from the get-go. And we showed a couple replays early of just gap control in the neutral zone, all the boring stuff that you go through during the telecast. But that's what the Oilers were doing. They were controlling the game, and I thought they were controlling the game as much without the puck as they were with the puck. So when you put both of those things together in Game 5, that certainly was the case. And the Kings couldn't find a way out of it. The Kings talked today about, that identity of defending and doing that type of stuff, and they have to. But, I think the big key for them is transition. When they do play solid defense and they do get the puck back, they've got to do something with it. They've got to put something on the Oilers, a little bit of pressure, at least not only to pressure the Oilers, but to take off the pressure in their own zone. Now, they felt in Game 5, the Kings did, that they turned the puck over when they were trying to go in that transition. So a lot of different things need to be adjusted and worked on.
And adjustments, I want to get to that, Jim, was the adjustments in this series. LA, obviously, the first two games, they were the better team. Edmonton definitely had some self-inflicted wounds in those games with some gifts, and the King capitalized, and that's what you have to do. The 3 games since, Edmonton's had a distinct advantage in cycle chances, slot shots, inner slot shots, time of possession, everything. And LA has had leads like in the first 21 games over the last 3.5 years, or 4 years, I guess we include this year, the team who scored first was 19-2. The Kings were 7-1. They've lost the last 2 games scoring first. And when they've got the lead, they didn't really use it to their momentum and keep attacking. What do you make of the Kings' decision to sit back as much as they have, even when they've had a lead?
Yeah, Jason, that's, they're known for that. They're known for being able to hold on to the lead. They're known for the ability to, work smartly without the puck. I don't think that's a question, but I don't know if I've ever seen them drop back as much as they did. Certainly in Game 3. It did carry over into Game 4. I thought they were much better on the counterattack in Game 4. They had a few, but still. So again, it's about the Oilers are going to get offensive zone possession time anyway. And if the Kings can't find a way to slow them down and just encourage them by backing off, and Jim Miller talked about it this morning. You were there. He talked about, it's the human nature thing. You don't want it to be that way. Everyone says you've got to keep going, get the next goal, but it never does happen. And, again, it's Game 6. You have that new opportunity. But, and there's that old saying, it's not how, it's how many. Meaning, you know what? Just get the win. Get the 4.
Yeah.
Get the 4, it doesn't matter how. Well, if the Kings cannot bounce back in Game 6, what happened in Game 3 and Game 4, that how might be a factor. because it looked like in Game 5 they were not able to bounce back emotionally. And they've got to find a way to do that in Game 6.
I love how you said that. They haven't bounced back emotionally. And some will say, hey, it was the challenging on the Kane goal, and they scored a power play 10 seconds later. And maybe that's it. I don't know if one challenge is going to get it. Edmonton still could have won that game. Who knows? Now, of course, LA could have won too, and then been up 3-0. Maybe we haven't told different conversation. So I get why people say it. But I love what you said there. You never seen him drop back that much. It just, last year everybody talked, the 1-2-2, it's brutal. 1-3-1, was brutal. They want to change it. The player said it. But Darcy
Your
Kemper,
family.
The other day before said, hey guys, I would just like us when we get a lead to keep attacking, because anybody who's seen the Oilers when they lose a series to Vegas or Florida in the last few years, it's when they're a heavy forecheck team and they're aggressive, and you force the Oilers to have to defend for a lot of time. The Kings haven't, even in the games they won, Jim, they were just one strike. They were crushing. The Oilers would turn it over, Kempe scores. They turn it over, Byfield scores. There wasn't that consistent. Do you think the Kings, is it too late in the series? Can they change and be a little bit more assertive on a forecheck and even not back up so much in the neutral zone?
Yeah, I think they can. Okay. I think that's possible. I think I call it a contained forecheck, especially when you have a lead. Meaning when you go on the forecheck, yes, you will take the next goal, but your objective is just to make sure you spend some time there. So it is more conservative when you're thinking about it, but it's still, you're playing in their zone. And, again, I think it can turn around for Game 6, but if we go back to the series as it's played through, I think that the Oilers coming in were a little bit thin on defense, right? Because Ekholm's not available. Well, the Kings have not, at least certainly in 3 and 4, and they did at certain elements of that game. There's no question. They had leads going into the third. They had leads in the third. And I don't know if they're pressuring the defensemen of the Oilers enough. I just don't. Again, it's easy to say. Can they do it? But yes, identify one guy on the line and say, you're the first man in. You're F1. You better be F1. You better be the guy. The other guys will support, but just something to, again, I mentioned a couple moments ago, as much to put pressure on the Oilers as it is to take pressure off the Kings, because once the ball has been rolling later in games, it's been all Oilers. Now, again, the Kings have played great segments of games, right? Game 2. The Oilers came back and, made it a 1-goal game in the third, and the Kings did not. They kept going. So they can do it. But obviously, with the way Game 5 went, the execution was top-notch by the Oilers, so that's a concern. Now the Kings have to think about their execution. That's what they have to have their thoughts on, and they have to find that way. Again, their identity is defense, checking for chances. That's what their identity is. But when they do get the puck, it has to be a little bit more aggressive.
Jim Fox, analyst for the LA Kings. Jones just said, Jim, you watched all the games. You've watched all the games for many years. Jordan Spence played 16:47 a night. Now, obviously, Drew Doughty comes back. That's going to alter it somewhat. But, you look at this series, and I was looking. So his last regular season game, he played 17-11. He had an assist. In the first playoff game, he played 6 minutes. So, and I went back. I was watching that game. I'm like, man, I didn't see this egregious play, especially because the Kings were up early on in that game, to sit him down. What changed for a guy that can go basically 7 minutes a night and he can't play? He's played 8-6, 8-2, and was a healthy scratch in the other one. What happened? Did they just not trust his size? What are you seeing, or what do you think they didn't see in Spence so early to go away from a guy who played 79 games and played 16:47 a night?
Yeah, I'll go with the way you went initially, and that is with 4 healthier guys, with Doughty being mobile. And Drew's been more mobile in this series than he was at the end of the season. I think they changed their approach with Drew. They were taking a lot of time off, and now I think Drew is skating as much as possible just to keep the mobility there. But for that reason, the field, they had the 4 guys, and they felt they would load up on them. So, my perspective, I'm looking at it, it's less to do with Jordan Spence and more to do with what they feel the other guys can do when they load up a Gavrikov and Doughty situation, Mikey Anderson, Doughty, Gavrikov, Edmondson. more size. That could be a factor. There's no question. And you know what? Where we are in the series right now, that will be questioned, meaning, again, coming into the series, if you do the advantages, disadvantages, I think most people felt that the Kings had more depth. And, obviously the Oilers are known as a top-heavy team, but the Kings had they had the advantage in goal, people felt, and they felt they had the advantage, down the middle with Byfield and Deneau and Kopitar, and back on the blue line. They have adjusted the time on ice, and the balance has not been as much of a factor.
Yeah, but I don't think anybody can give LA the advantage at center when you got McDavid and Draisaitl. To me, that's just foolish. And the other thing, like the coaches really got
Jason, depth, 3-3 down, and when you have McDavid and Draisaitl playing together as much as they are, you would have to look down the lot a little bit as far as who's going to be the second guy out there, who's going to be the third guy out there, and every once in a while, who's going to be the fourth guy out there.
Yeah. Well, even the depth, though, when you only go with 9 in the playoffs, like Edmonton, I think they changed their strategy and said, they're going to go 4 and 9, which is basically what they played. They just started playing dump and place, and they were more physical. And I talked to some NHL defensemen, like, when you got to turn and go back for that puck as often as the Kings have had to, that gets taxing, right? And then they're cycling. Like, look at Edmonton's cycle chances the last 3 games. And you played, like, some nights you can play 20 minutes, but it's not the same as another night of 20 minutes when you're forechecking, you're back checking, maybe you're playing defensive all the time. And fatigue, like, I know these guys are in great shape, Jim, but do you think fatigue has been a factor here lately in the series?
I will say this. The Kings have cut way back, right? They've shortened the bench. There's no question. The Kings play a man-on-man system in the defensive zone.
Yeah.
So you're not I'm not going to say you're chasing, but once you walk onto a guy, with the Kings system, you can have a defenseman chase a guy all the way to the blue line. That's the way they play. But that involves a lot of energy, a lot of skating, a lot of action, a lot of mobility. And again, I've looked at the internal numbers of Edmonton on the cycle. As far as I can tell right now, they're the second best team creating chances off the cycle in the entire playoffs. So yes, they're known as the rush team, and they're, Draisaitl, McDavid, they're going to come at you a million miles an hour, and they do that. But now they're adding an extra element, and that's where the Kings, it can have that factor. It can have that wear down factor. There's no question. And let's face it, Game 5, right? It was as much about the 4-line approach of the Oilers, or the depth approach, that really allowed them to control the full 60 minutes. And, the Kings are looking for adjustments. The Kings are looking for bounce backs. The Kings are looking for, different outcome, obviously. And, the wear down factor of what the Oilers are trying to accomplish, I think it's there.
Jim, as always, man, great stuff. We'll see you at the rink tonight. Should be a heck of a game as always.
Jason, my pleasure. Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
There you go. That is Jim Fox, longtime analyst for the LA Kings. And I'm sorry. Even if Draisaitl is going to play some of the time, I'll never give another team the advantage at center. I just can't do it. Because Draisaitl, even if he only plays half his time there, it's a big mismatch. And Nugent Hopkins hasn't been overwhelmed when he's played center at all. And I'll give Matthias Janmark a lot of credit, man. He's played pretty good at center. Scored some key goals for you. You know what? That line, him, Podkolzin, and Arvidsson came up with a massive goal last game. So, you just look at the fourth line depth. Like, they're not even playing their fourth line. So it's kind of hard to say you got better depth when you don't even play them. Because Edmonton's guys are fresher. And I talked to them in the room today. Like, you see them, Frederick to Podkolzin. Those guys are bouncing off the walls. They're fresh as daisies. And LA's got some smaller forwards in their top 9, and I think they wear down quicker. Quick break. We'll return. Jason Gregor, Connor Halley, Sports 1440, Oilers Nation, YouTube, Facebook, and X. We'll talk some around the NHL. We'll hear from Chris Knobloch, Leon Draisaitl as well. Draisaitl, if you missed it, a Hart finalist, no surprise. He is in the Hart Trophy with McKinnon and Hellebuck. And I know I can't see a goalie winning. I could be wrong, but I think it's a 2-man race. And I think Leon Draisaitl's got a really good chance to win a Hart Trophy for the Edmonton Oilers. I know he wants to win the Cup, but it doesn't hurt to win both. And, the voting's already done for the Hart. It's irrelevant to what happens in the playoffs. I just want to remind people of that. So if he wins the Hart, that doesn't mean he doesn't care about winning the Stanley Cup. Okay. Oh, they don't care. Of course you care. Why could you not? will return on the Gregor Show live at On the Rocks, Jasper Ave, 118th, your place to watch the game tonight. Make a reservation. They got a few seats left, or just come on down. It's going to be great. You got hockey, and then after the game, it's salsa night at On the Rocks.
If you bleed orange and blue and you're not using the all-new Play Alberta Sports and Casino app, then you're missing out. It's the only online sportsbook with odds boosts on all Oilers games. And now, it's not just sports. Play the slots, hit the tables, buy lottery tickets, all in one app, all across Alberta. Download Play Alberta now from your phone's app store and use promo code GOAL for a $100 bonus. That's promo code GOAL!
Spring style and road-ready performance are more affordable than ever. Now at Volvo Cars Edmonton. Lease or finance a 2025 XC90 plug-in hybrid from 1.49% and save up to $5,000. Lease a 2025 XC60 plug-in hybrid from 4.9% and save $3,000. Lease or finance a 2025 XC40 from 0.49% and save $2,000. Get ready for the open road at Volvo Cars Edmonton. Great vehicles, better services, only at VolvoCarsEdmonton.com.
Well, get ready for a silly hockey fans. Your partner in power just skated onto the ice. EWEL.ca, the new e-commerce website for electrical wholesalers Edmonton, is ready for the power play 24/7, 365. UL skates to where the puck will be in 5 years. Now that's forward thinking. Killer selection, slamming products from the best brands, and legendary service. Don't sit on the bench. Get your account today at EWEL.ca and win that project. Plug into your partner in power. Get an EWEL.ca account today.
Thursday, May 8th is McHappy Day, when every menu item purchased at McDonald's helps support families with sick children. So you can feel the good that comes from doing good, just from ordering.
So if I order a Big Mac, I'm helping.
Yep.
What about a McFlurry? 10-piece chicken McNuggets and apple pie?
You got it. Every single order helps. Join us at McDonald's for McHappy Day on Thursday, May 8th. Do good, feel good. A portion of food and beverage sales will support RMHC chapters and local children's charities across Canada.
It's playoff time, and we've got a lot to talk about. This is Andrew Walker on Edmonton Sports Leader, Sports 1440. Tune in after every playoff game for the Ridge Social Eatery postgame show. The Ridge is the new hotspot in St. Albert, and it's so good.
Adventure just doesn't stumble into your life. It roars to life with Riverside Motorsports. Tearing up trails or cruising the open road. Yamaha ATVs, side-by-sides, motorcycles, and dirt bikes deliver the performance you crave. Built for thrills, ready for your next adventure. Yamaha's legendary performance and reliability take you there. Make Mother Nature your playground on a Yamaha from Riverside Motorsports. Located on St. Albert Trail. RideRiverside.com. Riverside Motorsports. What you do for fun is our business.
For a rock-solid start on all your spring and summer projects, Bashaw Concrete Products. From concrete to septic tanks, precast water pads to outhouses, plus aggregates, landscaping supplies, and more. Renos, construction. Start planning right now at BashawConcrete.com or call 780-372-3854. That's 780-372-3854. Family owned and operated, proudly serving Albertans since 1963. Bashaw Concrete Products.
Are you tossing and turning at night, unable to sleep because of mounting debt? Debt can feel overwhelming, but you don't have to face it alone. I'm Parveen Middleton, licensed insolvency trustee at BDO here in Edmonton. I'm here to guide you every step of the way so you can find peace of mind and finally rest easy. Call 1-833-BDO-TALK or visit bdodebt.ca to book a free consultation and discover your debt-free future.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Garage Superstore by Premier Built Garage is your one-stop shop for everything garage, from accessories and storage solutions to cabinets, vehicle hoists, storage racks, and Traeger grills. We've got everything you need to maximize your space. Visit our 8,000 square foot showroom at Calgary Trail and 34th Ave or online at garagesuperstore.ca.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
$3.49. Jason Gregor, Connor. I think I said McKinnon earlier on the Hart. Obviously, it was Kucherov, Hellebuck, and Draisaitl. No Canadian. Oh, people are going to freak out over that one. American, German, and a Russian in the Hart Trophy. Finalist Ted Lindsay has Kucherov, McKinnon, and Makar. So, hey, Gregor, how does Hellebuck not win the Hart? Easily the best goalie season of all time, if not better stats than other Hart-winning goalies. In a time with much higher scoring, when Price won the top 10 scorers, average 80 points. This year it's 100, and the President's Trophy would be nuts if he didn't win. Graham. Well, look at his numbers and compare them to Darcy Kemper. Right? Darcy Kemper had basically the exact same numbers, except Darcy Kemper had a much harder environment in front of him. Connor Hellebuck had the best, and when I say best environment, means he had the environment that had the most likelihood to have good numbers in front of him, courtesy of ClearSight Analytics. And so, yeah, he had good numbers and he played well, but he was also in a situation where it was easier to play well. Like he had a 925, Darcy Kemper had a 922, right? Goals against average of 2 to 2.02. Like there's not much difference in that regard between the two of them. So, yeah, I know. And to me, hey, when Price won, I look at it was a 2015. Yeah, like he had a 933 and so even higher, $1.96. Yeah, right. Now scoring overall, just because the top scorers were down, scoring overall was a little bit lower, but not massively lower than the actual overall league, right? So just a few of the top guys were a little bit higher, but the overall league scoring, I think, at that year was like, I got to look it up exactly, but I don't think there's much difference. So he won that year because no one had a great year offensively is the big reason why he won, for being honest. Right. Yeah, I'd be surprised. For me, it's hard to vote. Like when Hasek, and trust me, when Hasek won, Hellebuck's numbers weren't Hasek. Hasek was playing way more minutes and was unbelievable. When the environment that Hellebuck had this year, and guess what? In the playoffs, it's been not bad. It's actually been pretty good. And his numbers, as Kevin outlined, his numbers, not great. Not great. $352, 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440. Hey, Gregor, Deneau's better than Nuge, but Draisaitl and McDavid are better than Kopitar and Byfield. Well, yes. Yeah, sure. Like, my point is, like, you can never say they have better center depth. Especially, they don't even play their fourth-line center. So if we're calling depth, then Adam Henrique is infinitely better than or Matthias Janmark right now. Infinitely better than their guy. So, yeah. I just don't see how anyone can say at the start of the series, after what's happened, because last year McDavid and Draisaitl played a grand total of 8 minutes together, 5-on-5 in that series, and they won in 5 games. And you know what? You had some concerns about defense, but whose top 5 defense are better, Edmonton or LA's? Well, Edmonton, because LA doesn't even play 5. Like now, last game Clark did play 14 minutes, the most he's played in the series. But Kulak and Ekholm's not even playing. Kulak, Ekholm, Nurse, Bouchard, Klingberg. So, you know, you've had Kemper better, sure. But Calvin Pickard in his 3 games, no issue. It's been quite good. Now, Kemper stood on his head last game, and he had to. Pickard, and I've always said this, Edmonton's team is not structurally, financially built to have their goalie have to lead them. It's just not how it is. 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440. We're at $1,200. We got a pair of seats, and we got about an hour's left. Pair of seats. If you want to go to the game tonight, orders are tacked twice. Lower bowl, row 17. If you want it, all for charity. 833-401-1440. As Ryan has it right now at 1,200. Now let's hear from a few of the guys in the room. We'll get to Coach Knobloch. First of all, just on Jake Wallman, who we mentioned this yesterday. We had the trivia fun, but Jake Wallman, look at his numbers. They've been pretty good. So I asked Knobloch, for a guy who really had no playoff experience, only ever played 1 game and didn't play that many minutes with the Blues a few years ago, what has impressed him most about Wallman's game in the playoffs?
How well he's been skating. Whether that's on the offensive zone blue line, finding a lane to get a puck through. There was several times in the last game where he had a puck in the corner and he's been able to use his legs to get that puck out of trouble rather than just rimming it around the boards or whatever it is. I think, and then also defensively, being able to close and being quick. And that all starts with him skating. I think he's a very smart hockey player that has got some offensive flair. I just think, overall, he's been playing really well. And again, we talk about those players coming back from injury and you're not sure exactly what they're going to give you. But he's another guy that's been able to find his game very quickly.
Yeah, he's played really well. Also, this team, 5-0 in clinching games in games 5 and 6, including last year against Dallas and the Los Angeles Kings. What has he seen from them last year? Because he obviously wasn't here in the other 3 that they can draw on to help them close it out tonight.
I think we just handle it as any other game. And I say any other game in the playoffs where we don't get, too fired up, too complacent, too stressed if things aren't going well. It's a very mature group who knows what's important and they go out there and do it. So, hopefully we have that same mentality tonight.
And what about the combinations when it comes to the lines? We've seen him play, McDavid and Draisaitl, and seems to be working right now. You got Nugent Hopkins with Kane and Hyman, and kind of, Janmark's played center at times. Just, what is he finding, and how much of an impact has Kane's return led to his decisions in line combinations?
I hope to keep our lines the same as much as possible and not have the fluctuation. There'll always be fluctuation just because of whether it's an injury, somebody's not playing well, line matchups, we got to change something. But often when there's as much changing the lines as there is, it's usually because you're not playing well, things aren't going well, and you're searching for answers and you're being almost desperate to change things. I definitely liked what I saw from our game the other night in game 5. We are going to start like that and we'll see how long it'll last. But I think right now, I'm optimistic. I think I found something that I like, but of course that can always change. Going into the playoffs, we were in a difficult situation because we had so many players coming in that hadn't just either played. Trent Frederick played 7 minutes with us, and when he did play, we had many other guys out of the lineup. Evander Kane, Draisaitl, McDavid, among others. So to find how your team is going to play in that rhythm is difficult. So we've started to kind of build something to kind of get some chemistry with lines and guys. I'd like to keep it as much as possible, but I know that's being very optimistic and things always change.
And let's get to Leon Draisaitl and game 5, just his overview of the game and, what it means heading into tonight.
Yeah, I would definitely put it up there. It was one of our best games this year, just from top to finish, top to bottom, start to finish. I thought we were on it, we're at it, and obviously looking to bring that again tonight.
Yeah, they were very, very solid in that game. And lastly, Brett Kulak. The teams clearly, you look at game 1 and 2 compared to games 3 and 5, and it's like it's so night and day. The Oilers' expected save percentage in those 2 games was .872. Their expected save percentage in games 3 to 5, .914. And you give any goalie that much of a better environment, he's going to look better. Now, that doesn't downplay anything. Pickard has made some key saves when called upon. But even he said, he goes, man, when you're not called upon to make that many more big saves, it just makes it easier, right? You're just playing the odds. And the Oilers have cramped down a lot. Ask Kulak about the switches of the defensive play and how much improvement we've seen the last 3 games.
Little adjustments along the way. Obviously, we got it outplayed pretty good and lost the first 2 games, but it's been impressive how the group's, made some adjustments, and we've kind of followed the script, and everyone's taken it upon themselves to be better, and I think that's been the case.
They have been. Jason Gregor, Connor Halley, Sports 1440. When we return, your chance to qualify for Here Comes the Sun, an option to win a $1,500 $15,000 solar system courtesy of Action Electrical. That's coming up after 4 o'clock. But first, let's get to the con man and a sports 1440 update brought to you by your Alberta GMC dealers as truck month continues on now at GMC. You can get a $5,000 cash purchase credit on 2025 Sierra HD models. See more at gmccanada.ca.
This is a Sports 1440 update.
It's a game day. The Oilers-Kings meeting in Game 6 down at Rogers Place. Puck drop just after 8 o'clock. Our pregame coverage with Andrew Walker and Donovan Paulson gets going at 6 right here on Sports 1440. Also, the Maple Leafs trying to wrap up their series with the Sens, leading 3-2 at 5. At 5:30, the Golden Knights will try to do the same in Minnesota. Then at 7:30, the Avs look to stay alive as they host the Stars. We've got our 2024-25 finalists for the Hart Trophy given to the NHL's most valuable player, Jets goaltender Connor Halley, Oilers forward Leon Draisaitl, and Nikita Kucherov of the Lightning, the 3 finalists after all having outstanding seasons. In the association playoffs rolling on, the Knicks can end their series against the Pistons at 5:30, then 3-2, and the Clippers will try to stay alive at home as they host the Nuggets down 3-2. Major League Baseball, Jays in action tonight, taking on the Red Sox once again, looking to make it 2 straight. I'll get going just after 5 o'clock. Just one game going on right now. Top of the 8th, Guardians and Twins tied at 2 apiece in the top of the 8th. Twins do have the bases loaded with 2 outs. Earlier today, Cubs knocked out the Pirates 8-3, and it was the Mets losing at home to the Diamondbacks 4-2. WHL, the Chiefs can complete the sweep tonight over the Winterhawks when they meet at 8 o'clock. The winner of this series will advance to the WHL final and taking on the Medicine Hat Tigers. Coming up in hour 3 of the Jason Gregor Show, we will have Evan Rawal from the Denver Gazette join us to talk about the Avalanche and Stars. We'll ask 5 questions, and it is your next chance to qualify for Here Comes the Sun. I'm Connor Halley. This has been a Sports 1440 update.
Sports 1440, Stingray radio station. CKJR broadcasts from West Edmonton Mall and Wetaskiwin.
Download the free Stingray music app and listen wherever you go.
Hold on to your hockey helmet, Edmonton. On the Rocks is serving up 60-cent wings that fly off the plate faster than a slap shot. And Molson Canadians for $5.25. OTR's TVs, hey, they're so clear you'll see the puck better than the ref. That ain't hard, is it? And every game night during Edmonton's playoff run, specials start 30 minutes before puck drop and last for the whole game. Be a part of the legend. See the menu at ontherocks.yeg.com.
Legend has foretold of a smoothie so delicious and refreshing that it could quench the thirst of a fire-breathing dragon.
But it's also a great pick-me-up after a workout. The new Dragon Slayer smoothie from Booster Juice, a legendary blend of dragon fruit and mangoes, destined to be your next obsession. Try it today along with the new Dragon Booster Ball and the Pink Dragon Booster Mixer.
3 epic menu items to conquer your cravings. Booster Juice, Canadian-born, blending since 1999.
Dang. Last season, you bought new clubs to fix your game. You spent the entire season trying to learn how to hit with your magic clubs. And guess what? Dang. They didn't help your game. Now you're convinced it's your swing, but it really is your clubs. Even though you were told the ones you bought were the best ever made, if they were, you would have gotten better. Every day at Fitted Golf, we continue to prove the right clubs make all the difference in the world. From beginners to pros, Fitted Golf makes all the difference. Yes, fittedgolf.ca.
We've been waiting for this since preseason. It's playoff time, and Sports 1440 is your home for all things hockey. Kevin, Lowtide, Jason, and the pre- and post-game shows with Andrew. So many reasons why we're Edmonton's sports leader.
There's one.
And
another. No, not spring flowers yet, but rather huge deals. It's GMC's Truck Month at Wolf GMC Buick. Up to 72 months on our most popular Sierra half tons, or massive discounts starting at $8,000. Choose your truck from a great selection like the fabulous all-new Canyon, right up to the trailer hauling Sierra HD with the industry-leading Duramax diesel. Spring into Wolf GMC Buick today and snag your truck, and see the savings at wolfgmcbuick.com.
Time on Edmonton Sports Leader, Sports 1440. This is Andrew Walker, and join us for the Cross Mitsubishi pregame show before each Edmonton playoff game. Cross Mitsubishi on 34th
And see,
Avenue.
get a $5,000 cash purchase credit on 2025 Sierra HD model. See more at GMC
5G
Canada.
Ultra brings incredible speeds to homes in rural and small town Canada.
See more
Upgrade today at xplore.ca.
This is the Jason Gregor Show on Sports 1440. 1440. Favorite us right now.
Powered by playalberta.ca. If you gamble, use your game sense. Learn more at gamesense.ab.ca.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Culligan for all your residential water needs. Your local water treatment company, more than just big bottles, Culligan.com.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by playalberta.ca. Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
.405, welcome back. Just over 4 hours from puck drop. Game 6 tonight. Now, many of you, you're driving around the Oilers and the Kings, and you're like, this seems familiar. Well, it was exactly 1 year ago to the day that the Oilers eliminated the LA Kings on home ice. May 1st, Game 5. The only difference is that it's Game 6 tonight. So, if you are a believer in things repeating themselves, this will be the 4th year they've defeated the Kings, but May 1st last year is when they did it. And that's going to tie us into our Here Comes the Sun promotion coming up in a second. It is the Jason Gregor Show presented by playalberta.ca, where you can get in the game. It's Thursday. Use your game sense. If you gamble, make sure to stay within your limits. Game sense, ab.ca. So now let's get to it. Here Comes the Sun. What an unbelievable package, courtesy of our friends at Action Electrical. It's a $15,000 solar system for your home. Okay, well, up to 15 grand, I should say, because now if you want to go someplace you want to go way more, great. But 15 grand will get like 99% of the houses with more than enough to spare. Now, there's a few things. You need to be a homeowner. You need to reside within a 50K radius of Edmonton. You also, preferably your shingles are 12 years of age or newer, because if you have older ones and you put it on, you're going to have to replace them. It's going to cost you way more money. It's not worth it. So those are the stipulations. Now, you can win it for yourself, but if you live out of town and you want to gift it to someone who lives within the 50-mile radius, that is totally allowed as well. So here's how it goes. You're going to text in your name with the answer to our question today, 833-401-1440. 833-401-1440. As I mentioned, a year ago today, the Edmonton Oilers eliminated the Los Angeles Kings from playoff contention. Can you tell me which Edmonton Oiler scored the game-winning goal, which was, here's a big hint, his 7th of the series last year? 7 goals in 5 games against the LA Kings last year. Guy was on fire. 833-401-1440. The player with your name, so include their name and your name, and you'll go into the draw, and you could be the winner and qualify to win the Here Comes the Sun turnkey solar system for your home or somebody you want to gift it to. So this player scored 7 goals for the Oilers last year. Not in 2022, last year. Okay? 833-401-1440. If you want a hint, he has 22 hits in the last 2 games. If you've been paying attention, you should know who it is. Okay? 833-401-1440. This is the first time we've had a few incorrect answers. I thought we had to make it a little bit harder, and that's fair. Right? Remember, you don't have to answer right away if you don't know for sure. 7 goals last year. He scored the game winner to put the Oilers into the next round. He also has 22 hits in the last 2 games for the Edmonton Oilers. Pretty good, I'll tell you. 833-401-1440. 833-401-1440. I'll give everybody a hint. It's not Evander Kane. Kane had 7 goals in 2022. I'm asking who was the winner last year in 2024. All right. Well, we'll wait for those to come in. We'll give you a little bit of time. We always like to give you a little bit of extra time, so you never have to worry about it. Of course, there are 4 games in the NHL this evening, and they're all potential series clinching games. Oilers at home can do it. Minnesota trying to stay alive at home against Vegas. Colorado trying to stay alive at home against Dallas. And Ottawa trying to just add to the pressure of the Toronto Maple Leafs and their fan base. Could you imagine? Like, think about it. If the Leafs lose tonight, Game 7 in Toronto on Saturday night, oh, the broadcasters want it. And I think a lot of non-Leaf fans are like, I just want to watch it for the chaos. Oh, my goodness. And, hey, it doesn't matter how you win the series as long as you win it eventually. But, man, could you imagine if? It's a big if because I still think they'll probably win. But if they lose that series, oh, my goodness. They're going to have to make some significant moves, man. Like, clearly. Like, I don't think there's a lot Mitch Marner was coming back anyway. But if he isn't, like, if they blow a 3-0 series lead, and it's not completely out of the realm of the possibility. We've seen the Flyers do it. We've seen the LA Kings do it against against the San Jose Sharks, who had a really good team. Anything's possible, baby. Anything is possible. 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440. Our question today for Here Comes the Sun, courtesy of Action Electrical. This player last year in Game 5 scored the game winner, his 7th of the series, to eliminate the LA Kings. Hint, he has 22 hits in the last 2 games for the Edmonton Oilers this year. That should give you a pretty good hint. 833-401-1440. We have lots of other text to get to earlier in the show. Hey, guys, if the Oilers win the series, do you think Draisaitl and McDavid are going to stay together all the time? I heard Knobloch answer saying, hey, I'd like to keep the lines. I don't want to change them. Well, when your other lines are not getting caved in and they're contributing, then, yeah, I could see it happening. But, Vegas is a little bit different of a team than the LA Kings are, right? There's all sorts of different things in matchups. But I'll say it right now, the Vegas Golden Knights, they're up 3-2 in that series. They got a big break in Game 5 on the goal review that, hey, it's that close. Like we're talking, well, you guys saw the review. Like we're talking, what is that? I don't even know how close that was. Was it half a centimeter? Whatever it was. Like that's the difference from being up and down in that series. Minnesota's given them everything they can handle and more. Vegas is getting great goaltending from Aiden Hill. Otherwise, they'd be getting crushed because they got the worst expected save percentage of any team so far in the playoffs. .864. Hill's obviously higher than that. So I think Edmonton, you know what? If they win, and I said at the start of the series they'd win in 6, so I'll stick with that. I like that matchup. I think Edmonton's a good, even without Matthias Ekholm, I said, like the Oilers, they're a good team. And I think everybody gets mad and they look at things. I'm like, yeah, but you got Evander Kane coming back. He's going to change some things. Trent Frederick's going to help you. And, they got some guys banged up. And Ekholm, he's not going to be back next series. He might not even be back in the playoffs, maybe later. But, hey, Klingberg's come in. He's played well. Jake Wallman's played well. Right? Those guys I don't think are 100% healthy, but they're playing well. And ultimately, that's what matters. So. Hey, guys, do you think there's any chance if a player gets hurt, anybody else will come in other than Jeff Skinner? Well, I guess so. The other options would be you've got Derek Ryan, you've got Kasperi Kapanen, you've got Jeff Skinner, you had Max Jones, Noah Phillips here, Savoy's here, Hamlin's here. Like, let's be honest. I think any of those guys coming in ahead of Kapanen would be a surprise. Now, if it's a center iceman who goes down, then they'll have a decision between Ryan and Philp. And I think you could make a strong case potentially that Noah Philp might be the guy. But if it's a winger, it's going to be Kapanen or Skinner, and it's going to depend on who. If it's a right winger, then it's definitely going to be Kapanen because he can play that side more. I think they like his speed. We'll see. Max Jones, I don't see him getting in, to be honest. On the back end, Troy Stetcher, he's ready to roll. And you know what? They might see him at some point. We'll see. But yeah, that's how it is. It's the same with Stuart Skinner. I think this is Calvin Pickard's net. If the Oilers go deep, do I think we'll see Stuart Skinner again at some point? I do. And it's not necessarily because Pickard's going to play awful. He might have an off night. It happens. But I think it'll more so be fatigue, everything else. Guy hasn't played that much, so we'll see. Hey, Gregor, if Toronto loses tonight, how many other teams have been down 3-0 to tie it, but then not win? Well, the Oilers obviously last year. There's been more teams do that than there has been, obviously, the teams that complete. I don't have the number. I have to look it up off the top of my head. I think it's, 5 teams have actually made the complete comeback from down 3-0. And I think it's like 7 or 8. I have to double check who have gone 3-0 to 3-3, but then couldn't win game 7. So I'll look it up in the commercial break to get you the exact one. Obviously, you saw that in the Stanley Cup final with the Edmonton Oilers last season. Hey, Greg, I saw this story on the Elks draft pick. How concerned are you about character? Well, honestly, I've never talked to the player. The Elks released their statement. They obviously did all their due diligence involved in this because, he was going to be a first rounder and a higher pick. And all the teams knew this. This was not a surprise. Oh, you drafted him. And then this was known before the draft. They just didn't want to announce it before the draft. So they waited till after the draft. But the Elks were well aware that, this was coming. So you look at it and say, is it worth the wait? They believe it is. So that's what they're going to do. And Darren Newell, is suspended for a year. My understanding, he doesn't get to practice with the team. So, what is he going to do? And when you read the 3-down nation story, obviously, this was not just somehow I got something in my bloodstream. Okay. Oh, geez, I ingested something I didn't know. I'm sorry. So he'll have a calendar year to look and reevaluate. And people can make mistakes. I think at times in our society that there's certain mistakes, like when you're taking substance like this, you're hurting yourself, right? You're not like when you rape someone, you're significant damage to them for the rest of their life, right? I'd have a hard time forgiving a rapist. I'm sorry. Just do. Somebody like this, that's your choice. You got to live with the stigma, but you didn't damage other people. So, hey, you know what? Suspended for a year. That's a pretty big deal. And now I'll have a chance to he's always going to have to live with that. And there's going to be some people question him. And that's just, there has to be consequences to our actions. I think at times in our society, we're a little bit soft on, hey, you know what? In sports decisions, hey, you do something stupid, you get suspended, right? You got to live with it. There's got to be some consequences to your actions. And so that's what happens here. And he'll have to live with it. They believe that it's going to be worth it, that he's going to be a player. And hey, this will be tough because pro athletes, you're taking away what they love to do. So I'm kind of curious to see how does he react out of it, because that's a long time. You're gonna have a lot of people question you, and sadly, fairly so. So we'll see. Quick break. We'll come back. We'll announce the winner for our Here Comes the Sun. We'll also talk some more NHL playoffs tonight. It's a 4-pack, 6 gamers. We could have 4 7-gamers. Probably not, but we could. Did you know that only one time in NHL history has there been on one night 4 teams all had the chance to extend the series to 7 games? 1992. That was the year there were 6 out of 8 first-round series that went to 7 games. 6 out of 8. And 4 of them all in the Eastern Conference, all in the same night. That was a wild time. 1992, you had all 4 games in the Eastern Conference at the same time. TV was a different world. It was a different world back then. So it didn't even have Sportsnet. Right? TSN, yeah. I don't even, was TSN even around in 92? It's a good question. Well, they definitely weren't there for broadcast games, I don't think. If my memory's correct. So just a different world. But could you imagine that? 4 game 6s, they all go to 7-game series. Pretty sweet. So 6 out of 8. Definitely not going to get 6. The most you could have is 5 this year. I don't think we'll see all 4 tonight because I don't think the Oilers are going to lose. We'll return on the Jason Gregor Show live and on the Rocks, Jasper Ave, and 118th Street.
Noodle, 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 noodle. Noodle, 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 noodle,
Throw the load down to Oodle Noodle tonight because dine-in is open.
Spring, where everything is coming up roses, except for GS Construction. We're heading underground.
and we couldn't be happier. Spring is always a busy time of year for everyone trying to get out there and do some work. Well, GS Construction agrees. And we also agree that we just might need some help. So if you're looking to work and join a group where safety, teamwork, and continuous improvement have been at our core since 1974, send us a resume. Come work with us this spring. Visit gsconstruction.ca today.
At Fountain Tire, we're all about one thing, taking care of your vehicle. Oh, and your wallet. I guess that's two things. Save up to 20% off select tires until June 14th. Fountain Tire. We're on this road together.
You've got a go-to coffee spot, a trusted barber, even a lucky game day jersey. But when it's about looking your absolute best, there's only one name you need. Mr. Dirk. Family run since 1939. We're experts in crafting impeccable tailor-made suits and offering a wide variety of everyday styles. Pair that with personalized one-on-one fittings and the convenience of on-site tailoring. Mr. Dirk elevates your style game. Visit our Edmonton store or explore MrDirk.com. Score big on style with Mr. Dirk.
Excavators, loaders, lifts, compaction equipment, and more. Find the XCMG construction equipment you need. Available for rental or sale at Japa Machinery Group. Japa, helping build Alberta from the ground up for 50 years. Visit japamachinery.com.
Thursday, May 8th is McHappy Day, when every menu item purchased at McDonald's helps support families with sick children. So you can feel the good that comes from doing good, just from ordering.
So if I order a Big Mac, I'm helping.
Yup.
What about a McFlurry? 10-piece chicken McNuggets and apple pie?
You got it. Every single order helps. Join us at McDonald's for McHappy Day on Thursday, May 8th. Do good, feel good. A portion of food and beverage sales will support RMHC chapters and local children's charities across Canada.
When St. Albert Dodge gets a deal, you get a deal. That's how it works. And right now, they've made a special purchase of new 2024 Ram Heavy Duty 2500 and 3500 model trucks. These are Cummins diesel models with an exclusive offer that you can only get at St. Albert Dodge. What's the deal? A no-charge Cummins engine option, which works out to $9,450 in savings for you. Over 35 available. Get yours now and see how easy it is to do business at St. Albert Dodge.
Whether you're a weekend camper or you want to spend the summer on a great golf course, Silver Creek Golf and RV Resort has something for everyone. Over 200 service sites, enough room for large groups, and their new online reservation system for campers. See what Silver Creek RV Resort has in store for you. Call 780-855-3982 and book your reservation online today at silvercreekgolfcourse.com.
For a rock-solid start on all your spring and summer projects, Bashaw Concrete Products. From concrete to septic tanks, precast water pads to outhouses, plus aggregates, landscaping supplies, and more. Renos, construction. Start planning right now at BashawConcrete.com or call 780-372-3854. That's 780-372-3854. Family owned and operated, proudly serving Albertans since 1963. Bashaw Concrete Products.
At Sherwood Honda, you'll find the true north traits Canadians are known for. Friendly? Check. Reliable? Check. Canadian made? Here's how you check. If the first digit on the VIN number is a 2, that Honda was made here in Canada, like the Honda Civic, CR-V, and CR-V Hybrid. Sherwood Honda has a whole lot of 2s for you to choose, a whole lot of spirit, and a whole lot of reasons your heart sure would be glowing when you pay them a visit.
Not to get too personal, but when it comes to financial services and insurance, Cooperators does just that. Like the "I'm definitely retiring early" plan, or the "Hun, that old tree looks pretty unstable" plan. Your future is personal. Your plans should be too. Cooperators, investing into your future together. Terms and conditions apply.
Looking for one-stop financial services? Give Camrose Insurance Financial Solutions a call at 780-672-9251 and see the difference a personalized plan makes. Cooperators, investing in your future together.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Action Electrical. They're the most diversified electrical contractor in Alberta with 4 divisions in project, service, tag, and solar for commercial or residential. Contact them today at actionelectrical.net.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
.424, welcome back. Gregor, Halley, Declan Kruger running things at Oilers Nation YouTube, Facebook, and X. The Con Man running everything at Sports 1440, sports1440.ca, and all the apps. So thanks for listening. Thanks for watching to the show. It's the Gregor Show presented by PlayAlberta.ca, where you can get in the game Thursdays. Ooh, the Daily Grand, boys and girls. $1,000 a day for the next 20 years. Oh, 7.3 mil. Like I've said, it'd be unbelievable to just wake up every day, ka-ching, put that little bell on the notification. You know what it is. I don't care. You wake up, you're grumpy, whatever. Oh, $1,000. Done. What can I do with that today? Maybe you invested. Maybe you buy something. Maybe you just let it, collect interest, whatever you do. After a while, you'd be like, I think I'm pretty good. I don't always have to spend it. Like I said, it'd be really hard to spend $1,000 every day. Now, unless you really just wanted to waste it. But on things you need, it'd be pretty hard. Pretty hard, I would say. Now, let's get to our qualifier today for Here Comes the Sun, where you will win a $15,000 turnkey solar system for your home, if you're a homeowner, or gift it to someone who's a homeowner. It's your choice. And Greg is our qualifier today. Greg, congratulations, my man. How you doing?
I'm doing great. Thanks, Jason.
Well, congratulations. Greg, are you planning on keeping it, gifting it? What's your thoughts? I know you just found out. Maybe you don't know.
Oh, I would probably keep it. I have a really sunny roof, apparently. I've been told.
Oh, a sunny roof. I like it. Do you have a sunny outlook for the Oilers game tonight?
I do. I think they've been dominating here the last game in a bit. I think they're going to keep it going.
Now, Greg, I want you to be honest here for a second. After game 2, what did you think?
I was not overly optimistic, but hopeful.
Hopeful, yeah. Well, dare to dream. Well, the Oilers have come back. They've dominated, and now they can win it tonight. And, hey, maybe on May 23rd, that's when we'll make the announcement. 3 weeks tomorrow, and you could be winning. So there's one final step with an email. It's pretty simple. Connor will explain that all to you. Then you send that off before May 20th, and then you will be in the draw. So good luck.
Perfect. Thank you.
There you go. Our next chance to qualify tomorrow in the 4 o'clock hour. So it's that simple. And by the way, the winning name, the correct answer, we got a lot of Evander Kane's and Leon Draisaitl's, but the correct answer was none other than Zach Hyman. Is it Zachary Martin Hyman? I think that's what it is. Is that what his name is, Cons, in the Legacy commercials?
Zachary Martin Hyman, yeah.
Zachary Martin Hyman. So it was indeed Zachary Martin Hyman, who was the 7-goal scorer last year in only 5 games. Evander Kane had 7 goals in 12. They've always had some big production years. McDavid had 14 points. The first year, McDavid's had double digits in every series. Draisaitl's had double digits in every series except the first year when he had 9. So it's funny. The only one he didn't have was 10 points was in the 7-game series. He's had 10 and 6, 10 and 5, and 10 and 5 again this year. So the Oilers, they've a lot of their big dogs have had quite the bite, shall we say, in the postseason against the Los Angeles Kings. They've had a lot of success, and they'll be looking for one more game of success. So it's funny. In 2022, the Oilers series against the Kings hadn't even started today, because everything was later. Remember, still in 2022, that series, the opening series, started May 2nd, ended on the 14th. But this year, of course, it could end on the 1st of May, similar to how it ended last year on the 1st of May. Last year, and then in 2023, it ended on April 29th. So only that was the 6-gamer, and last year was 5. So there you go. It's game 6 tonight on the exact same day as the Oilers defeated the Kings last year. Now, we're going to go around the NHL, brought to you by McDonald's. And a week today, boys and girls, it's McHappy Day. It's your opportunity to help a lot of people. You stop in at McDonald's, you can feel great about it. You're getting the milkshake, maybe the Big Mac, double cheeseburger, no onions, whatever you like. And portions of everything you buy will go to help out the sick kids at McHappy Day next Thursday. And depending on my schedule, I might be working the drive-thru. I have a lot of fun doing that. It's a good time to have a little chirp. It's great to surprise some people on the, you get, hey, what would you like? People like, what? Speak to them a different language sometimes. Good stuff. Good stuff. So as we go around the NHL, brought to you by McDonald's. Evan Rawal joins us from the Denver Gazette. Evan, welcome back to the show, man. How you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you doing?
Oh, I'm excellent. The Colorado Avalanche and the Dallas Stars, hey, they had a few years ago. Dallas was able to get the victory in that series. Colorado was down a game. They obviously need to win at home tonight. Evan, kind of when you look at how this series is unfolded and the fact there's no Heiskanen, there's no Robertson, are you surprised that Dallas, despite two of their best players, has given Colorado this much trouble?
I'm not surprised they've given them trouble. I am surprised that they're leading the series, just because if you're an Avalanche fan, you probably went into the series saying this is best case scenario. They don't have their best player, in my opinion, in Heiskanen. They don't have their top goal scorer. Plus, the Avs got their captain back, and surprise, he's still good. Apparently, surprisingly, he's just still a good player, and they're still losing the series. And it's just been it's been a weird series because the Avs 5-on-5, they've controlled a lot of the play. But the way that Dallas plays, if they just hang in games, they're completely comfortable playing in tight games and winning tight games, and that's what's happened. They haven't had the lead much outside of Game 5, and the Avs have kind of blown it a couple times with some late power plays and a couple overtime games they lost. So it's been a tight series, but it is disappointing considering all the factors working against Dallas that the Avs are losing the series.
And that's what's great about playoff hockey. It's unexpected at times. From a statistical standpoint, I think it's safe to say it's kind of been a disappointing series so far from Cale Makar. Like when you're you score 90 points, you have 30 goals, you're one of the best, one of the best offensive seasons we've seen from an NHL defenseman, especially, in the century. And he doesn't have a point 5-on-5. What's up with Makar offensively?
Well, Dallas has done a great job of getting in front of his shot. I think he leads the NHL in shot attempts with 48. In the playoffs so far, but they're blocking a lot and he's missing the net a lot because they are not afraid to just clog the middle of the ice there when the Avs are in the zone. So he's definitely got to do a little bit more. He was great in Game 4 when they won, but pretty much everyone on the team was great that night. So he said it yesterday. He said, "Listen, I've got to be better. I know it. No better time than to figure it out than tonight." But he's definitely had trouble getting it through. Dallas has just put a lot of layers in front of the net that he's had issues getting through, and the Avs you're not going to go anywhere if Cale Makar is playing like this. So they need him to figure it out. He also struggled defensively last game, which is kind of a killer. If you're not doing anything offensively and you are on the ice, I think for 4 of the 5 goals with a goalie in the net, that's rough. So they need a lot more from him tonight, and he knows it.
Yeah. So when you look at it, are the Stars doing anything specifically to add to his struggles defensively?
They are very much focusing in on him, and I think it starts when the Avs are in the defensive zone. If Makar's going back there to get the puck, they're not giving him any time to kind of wheel up and get going, because when he gets space, he's very difficult to stop, and we really haven't seen many of those plays where he goes coast to coast and where he's able to get speed going in the offensive zone. So they've definitely slowed him down there. And then, like I said, in the defensive zone, they're very aware. Pete DeBoer said today that when they do pre-scout on the Avs, 80% of it is on Nathan MacKinnon and Cale Makar. So they know if they lock in on those two and they shut those guys down, then they have a good chance to win. And so far, they've definitely locked down Cale Makar.
Yeah, well, yeah, for even strength, he's on for 4 goals against. So that's not ideal. As we're joined by Evan Rawal, beat reporter for the Colorado Avalanche at the Denver Gazette. Stars lead that series 3-2, trying to salt it away. Meanwhile, the Avs are looking to get it back. Now, you look at Blackwood's play. He's had some unreal games, And then we had Stephen Valquette saying how Blackwood has given up the most rebounds of any goalie in the playoffs thus far. What do you make of that combination? Is there a little bit of Jekyll and Hyde in his play in this series?
I mean, for the first 4 games, he was really good. Game 5, he definitely struggled. I mean, I'm no goalie expert. The goal he gave up 9 seconds in, he said it's bad luck. I mean, I look at it as a goal. When anytime someone shoots from behind the net goal line and scores, it's not looking good. But yeah, he's definitely given up rebounds. He's generally been able to get back in front of the rebounds he's given up, but I saw that him and also Ottinger have been giving up a lot of rebounds. I think the defense on both sides, because both teams are kind of collapsing, they've done a good job of protecting the slot where they're not letting these teams get second chances. But I think for the most part, considering it's his first playoffs, and his numbers are great, and he's played really well. And there's obviously room for improvement after game 4, but I think they're pretty happy with what they're getting in net for Blackwood right now.
Evan, you look at Dallas, and you mentioned they've kind of been just comfortable in waiting. Now, the last game was different. They scored in the first shift 9 seconds in, and then Mikko Rantanen made an appearance because prior to game 5, there was a little bit of an APB out for him, and same with Wyatt Johnson. Did the Stars top guys? Obviously, Makar's playing against those guys, so I think that makes sense that, if they have a good game, that's why you're having the goals against. But what had the Avs done through the first 4 games to really limit Rantanen's influence on the series?
Well, he's generally matched up against Devon Toews, and nobody knows him better than Devon Toews, who's got one of the best sticks in the NHL, and they're just not giving him any room over there. He's definitely had some shots. He's had some chances. I thought in game 3, he was really good. Mikko was. He looked a little bit more like the Mikko of old, but for the most part, the Avs have just slowed him down and kept him to the perimeter, especially on the power play. He hasn't done a whole lot on the power play either. So Devon Toews has helped. And also, I mean, for the most part, the Avs are not afraid to go best on best. So when Mikko's out there, he's usually on the ice against Nathan McKinnon. And when Nathan McKinnon's on the ice, you're mostly spending time in the defensive zone.
Jake Ottinger. They got to him a little bit earlier in the series and, wasn't playing great. Did they got to get back to attacking him maybe a little bit differently?
Yeah, even in game 4, when the Avs were dominant, it would have been 8-0 if not for Jake Ottinger. He's been incredible this series. And really, yeah, it does come down to the Avs got to get to the net. Valerie Nichushkin has not been a factor this series. And that's a big part of the reason why the Avs are down. And he's their best net front guy now outside of Gabriel Landeskog, who's now back. So they need to get in front of him. They need to kind of treat it like they did with Connor Halley last year. Just don't let him see the puck, because if he sees it, and he's shown it all season, shown in the series, he's going to stop it. So the Avs definitely got to do a better job of getting in front of him. And like you said, the rebounds are there. So they got to get there, get to the net, and just keep peppering him. That's what they did in game 3 or game 4, and eventually it broke through.
Well, Evan, we'll be interested to see how the game goes tonight. It's obviously going to be rocking in Colorado. I'd love to see a game 7 in any series, and this is one I thought would go 7 at the start, so I won't be surprised if the Avs win and push it to a game 7 on Saturday night. Enjoy the game.
Sounds good. Thanks.
Evan Rawal joining us from the Denver Gazette. You have the Avs and the Stars. So think about it. Cale Makar, right? He's got no points 5-on-5. In the last game, he was on the ice for 3 goals against. Hey, you know what? It's funny. I think sometimes that Oiler fans think Evan Bouchard's the only offensive defenseman that maybe at times doesn't have a great defensive game. It's not how it works. I'd like to point out the year the Avs won the Cup, go back and look at rounds 3 and rounds 4. Cale Makar in rounds 3 and 4, conference final and Stanley Cup final, was outscored 12-6, 5-on-5, and they still won. Now, he plays against the tough players, usually the best players. It's not what will happen. And it's rare. It's going to happen sometimes that when you're best on best, the other best is going to get the better of you. So, Cale Makar is a special, special player. No debating that. I'm not putting Bouchard in his category directly, but as an elite offensive player, Bouchard is in that category. Right now, he doesn't have the mobility of Makar or anything like that. But my point is, offensive guys, they will struggle. Look at Quinn Hughes in the playoffs last year. How'd he do? Right? It's tough. Hey, we know when Bouchard can have some struggles, but he can also have some games where he dominates. And obviously, game 3 and 4, he was a vital piece with 2 goals in each game to get the Oilers back in the series. And really, overall, when you look at Bouchard's play the last 3 postseasons, it's way more good than bad. Way more. There'll be some frustrations in there at times, yes. But just kind of got to deal with that. You can't let the negative one overlap and frustrate you 10 times more than the good plays get you excited. Otherwise, you'll just be upset. We'll come back with 5 questions, much more. We also got about 50 minutes left. If you want to get in our auction item today, we got pair of seats, row 17, section 115. Oilers attack twice. Great vantage point. See the game tonight. Goes for charity, and currently Ryan has it at $1,200. So you want to get your final bids in because we're ending that in about 14 minutes. 833-401-1440.
You've got a go-to coffee spot, a trusted barber, even a lucky game day jersey. But when it's about looking your absolute best, there's only one name you need. Mr. Dirk. Family run since 1939. We're experts in crafting impeccable tailor-made suits and offering a wide variety of everyday styles. Pair that with personalized one-on-one fittings and the convenience of on-site tailoring. Mr. Dirk elevates your style game. Visit our Edmonton store or explore MrDirk.com. Score big on style with Mr. Dirk.
Actions speak louder than words. Japa Machinery Group puts your construction plan into action with XCMG construction machinery you need. Available for rental or sale. Learn more at japamachinery.com.
Hold on to your hockey helmet, Edmonton. On the Rocks is serving up 60-cent wings that fly off the plate faster than a slap shot. And Molson Canadians for $5.25. OTR's TVs, hey, they're so clear you'll see the puck better than the ref. That ain't hard, is it? And every game night during Edmonton's playoff run, specials start 30 minutes before puck drop and last for the whole game. Be a part of the legend. See the menu at ontherocks.com.
Getting your vehicle sparkling clean doesn't have to cost a fortune. Take it into Hughes today and pay just loonies a wash.
Find us at HughesCarWash.com.
Is it Riverside Motorsports?
No. It's Riverside Motorsports. Over 55 years in business, and people still get it wrong.
Guess it's time to get it right.
Riverside Motorsports. What you do for fun is our business.
Legend has foretold of a smoothie so delicious and refreshing that it could quench the thirst of a fire-breathing dragon.
But it's also a great pick-me-up after a workout. The new Dragon Slayer smoothie from Booster Juice, a legendary blend of dragon fruit and mangoes, destined to be your next obsession. Try it today along with the new Dragon Booster Ball and the Pink Dragon Booster Mixer.
3 epic menu items to conquer your cravings. Booster Juice, Canadian-born, blending since 1999.
The job isn't done until the last load is hauled, and having a semi-trailer out of commission is not an option. Whether replacing or adding to your convoy, Edmonton Trailer has a huge inventory of new and used semi-trailers, trusted by the gravel, logging, oil field, fluids, and freight industries. Find a trailer right for you online or at one of their 3 locations. For sales, service, parts, rental, and finance, when you're in it for the long haul, Edmonton Trailer.
The Bricks tent sale is back. Take up to 60% off clearance items in the tents, with new product arriving daily and many items below cost. Plus, shop incredible 5-day deals, like mattresses starting at only $89. My Dia upright freezer for just $369. Save $700 on a 2-piece sleeper sectional, and desks start at only $99. Some exclusions apply. See in-store for details. The tent sale is on now at the Brick, saving you more.
Portions of this hour brought to you by On the Rocks. Watch every Oilers game at OTR with $5.25 Molson Canadian, $5 Pink Whitney shots, and 60-cent wings. Plus, play Oilers Score and Win for your chance to win On the Rocks gift cards. Oilers Hockey at OTR. Book your table today. Jasper Ave in 118th.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
Thursday afternoon continues on game day at On the Rocks. Jasper Ave 118th, your place to watch the game tonight. Hey, you want to get down early? You can watch some of the games, man. It's a game 6 extravaganza in the National Hockey League. 4 games. Of course, Leafs and Sens will start it early. Oilers and Kings will be the nightcap tonight. The Leafs, the Vegas Golden Knights, Dallas Stars, and the Oilers all looking to punch their ticket to round 2. Well, Ottawa, Colorado, Minnesota all try to stave off elimination at home, and LA is trying to do it on the road. Fun little fact for you, the LA Kings. So I did the numbers since 2007. The Oilers have the best, second best closing record. They're 7-2 in clinching opportunities. They're actually 5-0 in games 5 and 6. They're 2-2 in game 7s. The LA Kings overdue, haven't won 1. And in games where they face elimination, the Kings are 0-4. They lost in 4 straight to Vegas. They lost in 5 to Edmonton, 6 to Edmonton, and 7 to Edmonton. So and keep in mind, against Edmonton, when they lost in 7, they were up 3-2. So they've not been good when they face elimination or when they have a chance to win. Yikes. So that's good for the Oilers. We'll see if that can continue tonight. Let's get to 5 questions brought to you by The Brick. The 5-day deals are on now this weekend. Mattresses at only $89. Desks and coffee tables, $99. And hey, if you're looking for a convertible fridge freezer, how about only $369? And this Saturday, free hot dogs and pop from noon to 4 at The Brick.
It's time for 5 questions on the Jason Gregor Show.
All right, Jason, as per tradition, let's get your prediction for tonight's game. Let's just say who's going to score the first goal of the game as well.
Well, I have the Oilers winning. I just think history's on their side. I think recent play is on their side. I think the talent level top to bottom of the roster is on their side. So I'll take the Oilers. I will say they win 4-1. And did you say the game-winning goal?
First goal of the game.
First goal of the game. I'm gonna go. I'd like to go off the board for the. I'll go Arvidsson.
All right. I'm also going to say Oilers win. I think motivation. I think they're feeling pretty good. I'm going to say it's going to be a bit of a bigger one, like 5-2, and I'm going to say a King because they have scored the first goal in 4 of 5 games, I believe, so far. Warren Fogle gets the first goal of the game in this one. He'll be fired up, I would think. Question number 2 for you. We've seen already some of these playoff series get quite feisty. Of the first round matchups we've seen, which rivalry do you think is going to carry on into the regular season next year the most?
Go ahead.
I'm going to take Jets Blues. I mean, just now you're starting to hear the coaches kind of throw shade back and forth at each other. The high hits, the way it's been going. And I love it. I mean, I think this is fantastic. This is why we have this playoff format. Although I guess you are getting a 1 versus a wild card. But to have the Jets and Blues in the same division next season, I think the Blues are on their way up. The Jets should be hanging around. I think this is a rivalry that's just going to continue to be fantastic. And when it comes to intensity.
Yeah, it's always been like, to me, it's hard to go against Florida, Tampa. They've met 4 of the last 5 years. So LA, they don't have a lot of guys who are jerks to, Edmonton's got a much bigger jerk factor. So I don't know if the intensity there heightens. I will say, and selfishly, I hope I'm going to go with Toronto, Ottawa, because I hope it injects a little life into a rivalry that's kind of been dormant for a while.
Yeah, that would be a good one. Question number 3 for you. The Anaheim Ducks, obviously looking for their next head coach. They're going to speak with Jay Woodcroft, formerly of the Edmonton Oilers. Do you think he would be a good fit for that team?
I don't know if you caught us in. I might have to play some of the. He had an interview on Frankly Speaking a while back, and I was quite surprised by some of his answers. I don't know, man. Like I was really. I can't even describe it. I might have to play some of the responses on the show for people to generate, but it was almost like he didn't feel like he learned anything from Edmonton, and so I would say like Anaheim, sure. Like if I look at available coaches, now he has experience, and so that's going to be his big advantage, right? He's been in the NHL a long time, and so that will count for it. But When you look at the difference of the team in certain areas, like especially the defensive metrics for the Oilers and how they played after Woodcroft under Knobloch, it's been same players, but very different. So to me, that just comes down to coaching, does it not?
I would think so. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know if he would be my first choice if I'm Anaheim with, the players they have and the prospects coming up, but I certainly think they could do worse. I think they could do worse, but he wouldn't be my top pick. Question 6 for you. Between the NHL and the NBA tonight, we've got 6 teams facing elimination. Of those 6 teams, how many do you think will force a Game 7?
Well, the Blues, I like their chances with Scheifele not going on the trip. So I'll take St. Louis at home. I'm going to take Minnesota at home. And you know what? I think I might say 4. I know that's probably not going to happen. I don't think LA is going to win in Edmonton. And I'm choosing Ottawa strictly for the chaos. I still think Toronto win in 7, but I want to add the chaos for one extra day. And so I think Colorado will find a way to win at home. So I'm going to say 4 out of 5.
No, I said NHL and NBA. Now, Pistons, Knicks tonight, and Nuggets, Clippers. How about those 2?
Well, the Pistons did win Game 5 on the road. Give them a lot of credit. I'll say the Clippers do.
All right. Yeah, I'm going to say both teams in the NBA do. Both being at home, maybe give that advantage. I think the Golden Knights wrap it up. I think the Oilers wrap it up. And I'll say the Sens and Avalanche live to fight another day. I was just looking, Gregor. Evan Bouchard has more goals than Nylander, Marner, and Matthews combined in the playoffs. Those guys got to step it up. Final question for you today. First day of May. What would you say your favorite thing is about this month?
The month of May, well, it's my mother's birthday. It's going to be her 80th birthday. We're having a big 80th birthday bash for this weekend. So, yeah, I will go with my mom's birthday.
All right on. Well, happy early birthday. Mother's Day as well. So, get a spoiler twice. I am excited for Mother's Day this year. We actually
first time.
Yeah, so get a chance to celebrate that and hopefully spoil her a little bit. But I got to say, I'm enjoying the longer sunlight in the evening, getting a chance to kind of just look outside, watch the sunset. First year in the new house to kind of entertain and enjoy all that. So, the longer days is always a nice part of May for me.
You got the backyard. You sit in the backyard. So do you have does your backyard face east?
Kind of northeast. So,
okay, so
kind
you
of
get a little bit of it.
So we get a little bit of it. And it's quite nice. Never really did that at the condo previously. So it is very nice.
Oh, it's perfect. Love it. Love it. We got a lot of texts coming in. 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440. Hey, guys, looking at the Oilers' defensive metrics, do you see anything they've done different in the last 3 games? Yeah. Mike, I think the most obvious thing they've done is they've limited the big glaring errors, right? Like, look at the goals that LA scored in the first 2 games. And we've outlined it, but just as a reminder, you look at Kempe's goals, 2 of them. You look at Byfield's goal, another one. You even look at the power play goal. They beat guys wide cleanly. Like, I counted where I thought those were 6 what I would call really kind of gift goals, where you're asking your goalie to make an unbelievable save. So I guess, you know what, you'd like your goalie to save one of them, sure. But that's what they've done. Like, look at LA's goals since. So last game, Kuzmenko has to make a deflection. It's pretty nifty, but you know what? You got to make a nice play there to get a deflection. That was it. That's all. Like, I don't even know. Did they give him? Well, I guess the Kempe chance. So, that was it. And then you go back to Game 5, and their goals are now. Edmonton still had a little bit, right? They can't completely eliminate giftitis. It still resides in their team at times. But I would say that the Oilers, to me, the biggest difference defensively is they've made LA have to work a lot harder to score their goals, right? If you give a team, easy opportunity to score, more often than not, they're going to score, right? Like you look at even Game 3, right? Pickard comes in his first game, and Kempe's coming right down the wing. He's got some time. Now, maybe it went off a stick. Maybe it didn't. Either way, it was a great look. And that one, though, if it went off a stick, I don't think it really changed direction very much, right? Now, Drew Doughty's that's just kind of a lucky shot, right? You're late in the power play. You just sift one through, doesn't see anyone. They didn't have to work that hard, but at the same time, it wasn't like there was a glaring error anywhere. So you'll get those goals. But to me, it's limiting the giftness for their team. That's the number one reason I've said for Edmonton. On the other side, Greg, do you think the Oilers doing anything specific to break down LA's defensive game? Oh, yeah, 100%, guys. Watch again tonight. Watch the Oilers how many times, because in the regular season, the Oilers, they're not a dump and chase or dump and place team. And I get why. That's not their game. But this shows you, the willingness, because it was funny. Jim Fox said the thing that impressed him most about the Oilers is kind of their ground game, he called it. And they can grind teams down. You've got the elite skill. They got some speed in their guys. And everybody thinks that they're this fire wagon team. But they will play where McDavid will dump it in and they'll go get it. Right? Like their best players work hard. And it's funny. When you look at the disparity between Edmonton and Toronto, and I know it doesn't happen anywhere else. It's only Toronto people. Remember when they used to try to compare McDavid to Matthews? Like, are you joking? And I said, like, let's stop. It's Matthews and Draisaitl, maybe. And then what's happened since? So just because, Matthews is a good goal scorer, but he's not remotely close to the passer that Draisaitl is, or the competitor. You just got to look at their playoff numbers. Like, it's not even in the same conversation, dude. Like, not at all. And now I can get into a whole other thing, and we could do that probably in the offseason. It's a take that some of my listeners might not like, and they'll claim it's nationalistic, but I don't think it is. But anyway, we'll save that for the offseason because I got a lot of numbers to back it up. I just look at the work ethic of their superstars and the rest of their team. And Edmonton's built. Like I try to tell everybody, Kane and Frederick comes in, you're going to see the difference in what they can bring to your team, right? The difference is Kane comes in, plays very well with Hyman and Nugent-Hopkins. That's a formidable second line. It's a very formidable second line. Is LA's second line better than that? Like, honestly, is the Byfield second line better than the Oilers second line right now? No. And their first line obviously isn't better. So, because Kane, he can score, but he can skate, physical, right? Trent Frederick brings an element, right? Matthias Janmark's played really well. Matthias Janmark's proven year after year he's a gamer in the postseason. But I think the biggest difference for Edmonton, they saw a game plan. LA's playing their guys. They've really limited their bench. We are going to dump and place the puck. And they bang bodies. Like the fact that Zach Hyman has 22 hits in the last 2 games. He had 53 hits all of last year in 25 playoff games. He was averaging 2 a game, right? Just over 2 a game. And now he's averaging 11 in the last 2 games. Like, come on. It's not even conversation. He's at 36. The rate he's going, he'll be over 40 here. He'll be crushing 53. And then you throw in Kane and Frederick. And so Edmonton can skill you if you want. But they also have enough guys that can will you and play physical. And that, I think, has been the biggest difference in why they win. Ryan, congratulations, my man. You are going to the game tonight. We'll get a hold of you. Thanks for your bid. And you'll be sitting in some sweet seats with a lot of other excited Oilers fans. It'll be awesome. Congratulations. You are going to the game, helping out the charity. Let's get to the con man and a Sports 1440 update brought to you by Legacy Heating and Cooling. They are hiring. If you're looking for plumbing or HVAC installers, you want to work for a great company, you get a hiring bonus. You also have very competitive wage, RRSP matching, tuition reimbursement, and everything else. Go to legacyheating.ca. Apply today.
This is a Sports 1440 update.
It's game day. Oilers Kings down at Rogers Place. Edmonton can wrap this one up with a victory, leading 3-2. We got pregame coverage getting going at 6. Andrew Walker and Donovan Paulson. Also tonight, the Sens trying to stay alive when they host the Leafs at 5 at 5:30. Vegas can wrap up their series against the Wild, leading 3-2. Then at 7:30, Avs Stars from Denver. Dallas leads that series 3-2. We've got our 2024-25 finalists for the Hart Trophy, given to the NHL's most valuable player, Jets goaltender Connor Halley, Oilers forward Leon Draisaitl, and Lightning winger Nikita Kucherov, the 3 finalists. In the association, 2 teams trying to wrap up their series at 5:30. The Knicks looking to do so against the Pistons. Then at 8 o'clock, it's the Nuggets up against the Clippers from Los Angeles. Denver leading 3-2. Major League Baseball tonight, you got the Jays and Red Sox meeting in Toronto. That gets going in about 10 minutes. Earlier today, Cubs over the Pirates 8-3. Reds down the Cards 9-1. And it was the Royals over the Rays 8-2. In the WHL this evening, the Chiefs can complete the sweep over the Winterhawks when they meet at 8 o'clock Winner of this one will advance to the finals and get a meeting with Gavin McKenna and the Medicine Hat Tigers. Coming up in hour 4 of the Jason Gregor Show, we'll be joined by Mark Spector of Rogers Sportsnet and a former Oiler, longtime NHLer, Jason Chimera. I'm Connor Halley. This has been a Sports 1440 update.
Sports 1440 in West Edmonton Mall and Wetaskiwin. CKJR is a Stingray radio station.
Download the free radio player app and listen wherever you go.
Hey, Alberta. The all-new Play Alberta app is here. Casino, sports betting, lottery, all in one app, right on your phone. And because it's Play Alberta, you know it's safe, secure, and reliable. Download it now and play over 500 online casino games, live dealer tables, and unique games you'll love. Plus, bet on sports from anywhere in the province. You in? Download Play Alberta now from your phone's app store and deposit using promo code OIL for a $100 casino bonus on the house. That's promo code OIL for a $100 casino bonus.
You know how you look forward to all your favorite sports coming back in the spring? Soccer, baseball, golf. Well, GS Construction looks forward to getting back to work with the warmer weather. We're all excited and geared up for this very busy time of year. The groundbreaking season is upon us, and GS Construction is ready to roll with all sorts of new projects. Projects that help the community and make the place we live in better. For more on what we do, visit gsconstruction.ca.
At Fountain Tire, we're all about one thing, taking care of your vehicle. Oh, and your wallet. I guess that's two things. Save up to 20% off select tires until June 14th. Fountain Tire. We're on this road together.
Get ready to revolutionize your job site with Edmonton Kubota's game-changing compact construction equipment. From mini excavators and skid steers to track loaders, carriers, and utility vehicles, they have a model to fit every need, all powered by legendary Kubota diesel engines. These machines are built for performance and reliability. Transform your work with Edmonton Kubota's top-of-the-line compact equipment. Visit them today and see why they're the name you can trust for power and precision.
Tim's Smile Cookie is here, and every bite makes your community every bite better. Because 100% of proceeds are donated to local charities and community groups. Head to Tim's for Smile Cookies from April 28th to May 4th.
It's the Spend More, Save More event at your local co-op.
Back
From
just
May 1st
over
to
4.
5th. Stop
Just
by your
over.
local co-op home or agro center for incredible savings. It's the perfect time to stock up on home and farm supplies. When you spend $100, you'll get $10 off your purchase. Spend $200 to get $30 off, or spend $300 to get $50 off. The more you spend, the more you save. Count on Co-op to supply the tools, equipment, and all your farm and acreage essentials.
In the
We're your
National Hockey
one-stop
League
shop
4
for
games,
home and
of
farm
course,
supplies.
Leafs sent-
Spend more, save more. Spend more, save more offer at participating Co-op home and agro centers.
Need a golf cart that works as hard as it plays? The Golf Cart people can help. They offer a wide selection of new and used models, including Club Car. Whether you're after a lifted cart for the cabin or a sleek ride for the course, they'll help you find the right match. Add accessories or explore ready-to-go options available now. Trusted by Albertans since 1997. The Golf Cart People delivers quality and experience. Visit golfcartpeople.com to find your cart and hit the road. Or the fairway, your way.
Getting your vehicle sparkling clean doesn't have to cost a fortune. Take it into Hughes today and pay just loonies a wash.
Find us at hughescarwash.com.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Cantork. We offer sale, rental, repair, and calibration of hydraulic, pneumatic, and battery-powered torque wrenches, stud tensioners, and flange maintenance equipment. Order today at cantork.com.
From puck drop to kickoff, it's the Jason Gregor Show on Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
Oh, baby, just over 3 hours from puck drop tonight. Welcome back. It is the Jason Gregor Show on Sports 1440. Orders Nation, YouTube, Facebook, X, and Instagram, as well as sports1440.ca as the playoff push continues. The Edmonton Oilers looking to eliminate the Kings for the second straight year on May 1st, which would be the fourth year in a row, and it's kind of like a Groundhog Day. When you look at how this series has unfolded in the past, now last year, you know what, it was 1-1, and then the Oilers kind of took over the series. And now game 4, you know what, they got a shot 33-13. Stuart's going to play pretty well. But LA was never really, even in that game, it's not like they were, gifting tons of chances. Just made a lot of good saves. The Kings, they were up 3-2 in 2022, couldn't close it out. They got up early 2-1, and then the Oilers won 3 in a row in 2023. Edmonton's just gotten better every year. I think they make better adjustments. That's what I think. And I look at the Kings this year, and what adjustments have they made here in the last few games? Can you think of any? Like, what have they adjusted to try to counter the Edmonton Oilers? Like, nothing. The last 5 periods have been an absolute butt kicking by the Oilers. Like, complete 79-35 were the shots, 7-1 the goals. Like, it ain't even close. So can the Kings just find something different tonight? We'll see. Jim Hiller in the press conference, man, he was pressed a little bit today, and he's still, I like how we play. Speck talked to him about them sitting. No, we're not sitting back. We're back pressuring. And I'm just like, do you think we're stupid? Like, honestly, you don't think we know the difference between back pressure and sitting back, twiddling your thumbs in the neutral zone? Like, come on. It's not even the same thing. So, anywho. We are live at OTR, Jasper Ave 118th, your place to watch the game tonight. It's going to be rocking. Tonight you have hockey. You'll have lots of fans. And I'm telling you, boys and girls, you want to watch a game tonight. Salsa night, I will say. It's you want to get in the good books with the other sex if you're looking for a date. It's a way to do it. A little hip action can help you out. Just saying. It's the Gregor Show, also presented by PlayAlberta.ca. I don't know if there's no hip action at PlayAlberta.ca, but you can get some action on your wallet if you play the Daily Grand, $1,000 a day for the next 20 years, $7.3 million at PlayAlberta.ca. Now let's get to Mr. Spector as we get to the Spec Report, brought to you by GS Construction, your underground infrastructure specialist. Actually, I see they're working right outside on Jasper Ave right now. Doing God's work to make sure the roads are ready to roll. Some underground line work. Might have to put Spec in a hard hat. Have you ever worn a hard hat, Spec? Did you ever have a job that you had to wear a hard hat?
I worked construction one summer for my uncle. I worked for the city of Edmonton one summer when I was in school. Right. I never actually wore a hard hat.
That's the extent of your manual labor, right? Like, you've never really had a real hard physical job, have you?
Well, I'll tell you what, I had this uncle, he had a construction company, and he didn't believe in machinery. So he needed a stairwell dug, like for a basement stairway. And he just gave me a shovel. There were stakes in the ground. He said, start digging. I'll come back at noon and see where you are.
Okay.
So
that was,
you know,
so you had a few summer jobs.
Oh, yeah, that's it. Are you kidding? No chance, man. Like,
I was just checking about those typewriter fingers, to see, like, geez, like, have you ever had a callus?
Never mind. Have I ever had it? Look at you, Mr. Radio Guy. Hey, holy
hey,
cow.
dude, I worked in the oil field till I was 27, dude. Trust me. I grinded it out to the ultrasonic downhole pipe drilling. Trust me. Working at the farm. Hey, man, trust me. You want to carry anybody out there, any farm kid can tell you, you do fencing with your dad,
yeah,
you'll learn how to work. And you will learn to get a thick skin, from the wire, but also from the conversation. So, yeah. And hey, Jim Hiller, they got to get a thicker skin in LA, dude. Like, I loved your question. And he's like, oh, we're back pressuring. And I'm just like, what? Like, that was unbelievable. Like, they're so hell-bent on thinking what they're doing is working. And Spec, I know you know what? He was assistant coach beforehand. They no longer do a 1-3-1, but they will sit back with 5 guys on their side of center ice at certain times of the game. And we had Jim Fox on. He said he's watched a lot of their game. He's never seen them sit back as much as they did in that game, ever. And I think it kind of turned the series around.
I think in a bigger picture, Jason, that kind of hockey, we've had this conversation about the Kings every year. The Oilers play an offensive brand of hockey, and the Oilers have to dumb it down and dump it in, and they figure out every year how to beat the Kings. We'll see if they could continue this year. But, there's a reason no one else in the league plays this stand-along center ice hockey anymore, right? Like, think this through, okay? Back in the 90s when Jacques Lemaire was in New York and they were or New Jersey, and they were trapping, that whole trap was based on hooking and holding and impeding, right? That trap was based on you remember the call? Get a stick on them. Get a stick on them. Well, you can't play that way anymore. So I'm not sure that the old trap, now it's a 1-3-1 or whatever, 1-2-2, call it whatever you want. I'm not sure that passive style of hockey in today's landscape where guys are faster, they pass it way better. You can't use your stick and hold guys up in the neutral zone. I don't think it works anymore. No one else plays it except for the Kings, and the Kings haven't won a playoff round in however many years it's been. So, you know what? I think the Kings, let's see what happens here. But if they don't win this series, don't they have to dig down and say, what are we trying to prove here? No one else plays the way we do, and we never win.
Like I know they won in 14 and 12 with that defensive structure, but guess what? The game's totally changed, right? And
totally changed.
That worked. It worked 11 years ago. Like they haven't won a series since they won the cup. They got swept by Vegas in 18. They lost by 5 last year, 6 the year before, 7 the year before that, maybe 6 again this year. We'll see what happens. But yeah, they're going to need a monumental comeback here and win 2 straight. Otherwise, it's same old. And Rob Blake doesn't have a contract yet for next year. And Jim Hiller, the way this series goes, Spec, if they lose, when you consider the system, the challenge, if Rob Blake does come back, I could definitely see a coaching change. And if he doesn't come back, I guarantee there's a coaching change.
Yeah, it's like, I just think you got to take a look at an organization that, this is the best Kings team we've seen. Like, this is a better team than last year. They've made some improvements. They got great goaltending. So, this isn't me writing them off. Like, they win tonight. And now we're going back to LA, and I'm thinking, man, are you going to win 2 in a row in LA? Like, it's a tall order. So they're not done. They could win this series, but the way it's trending is exactly the pattern we've watched for 4 years. The Kings win a couple early. The Oilers bear down. They figure it out. They play the way you have to play against this. And in the end, the good offensive team beats the staunch defensive team. It's been 3 years in a row, and let's see if it's 4. But yeah, if you put me in charge of that team, I'd make a lot of changes for sure.
Oh, God, yeah, I wholeheartedly agree. There will be no lineup changes tonight, Spec. Do you think LA is going to change? Like, if LA, and by the way, they've scored first lots in this series, 4 out of the 5 games. If they score first, do you think they actually continue? Like, even their own goalie asked them in his comments that, hey, how will we score first? We attack. Do you think they'll listen, or they just, is it too much reverting? And so because of that, do the Edmonton Oilers, is the first goal, even more crucial for the Oilers just to put the final stake in the ground of the Kings season?
Well, we know this when you play that team. If you score first, you take them out of their comfort zone. If you get a lead, if they get a lead on you, they want to double down on what they do, and that's just defend. Now, that hasn't been working. So I think tonight, secretly, to me, if you hear Darcy Kemper saying what he said after last game about, man, I wish we'd push harder and I wish we'd get in on the forecheck a little. If he's saying that out loud, there's 18 guys in that dressing room that are saying it to each other over dinner when the coach isn't around. So I honestly believe tonight that they won't fall into the same trap no matter what the coach says. I think you're going to get a team that's going to coach itself a little bit and not go down. They may go down, but they're not going down the same way they've gone down the last 3 games here by standing back and waiting for the Oilers to come. So does that make the first goal more important? I'm not, maybe yes, maybe I'm not sure about that. But I do know this, when you play a team like LA, they don't want to have to be a chance-taking, offensive, push-hard team. So if you get a lead on them, they leave you a lot of opportunity while they're trying to come back. And that is the game plan whenever you play the old Dallas Stars or the old New Jersey Devils or whoever and today's LA Kings. That's the game plan every time.
Mark Spector joins us, Rogers. Sportsnet to Oilers Kings game 6 tonight. No lineup changes for either team. And Chris Knobloch said, hey, I'd like to keep my lines together. Obviously, McDavid, Draisaitl will go. Now, his lines together, McDavid, Draisaitl, Perry, but Hyman gets a few shifts there. Kane gets a few shifts there. kind of regardless of how the game's going or not, because I don't think Corey Perry can play all those minutes, which is totally fine. What do you make of the other line combinations now? Let's start with Nugent Hopkins, Kane, and Hyman.
Well, I think, after a year of Chris Knobloch hasn't kept the same lines all year because we've never, other than that one long stretch, they were good for 30 games, but there's been a lot of times this year where the Oilers didn't like their game. And when the coach doesn't like the game, the lines change. So he's really mixed his people around. All of a sudden now he's got some lines he likes, right? Got that Janmark line on deep in his lineup. They're kind of liking that line now. They've got McDavid and Draisaitl together, and like you say, a bit of a revolving deal on right wing. But and personally, I think Hyman, Kane, with Nugent Hopkins in the middle has been a really good line. So we're starting to see a little bit of predictability here with Knobloch's lines. That tells me he likes what he's seeing, and I think 3 wins in a row, it's pretty evident he likes what he's seeing. So yes, that's a pretty good second line for me. And if you rotate those 2 wingers up with the big boys once in a while, you get a different look from each guy. I don't mind the way they're going. What about you?
Well, you know what? Hey, Vander Kane's come in, and you know what? He's a difference maker. He's an impact guy. He's healthy. It helps. Adam Henrique, I feel, has engaged more. You know what? Janmark, Podkolzin, and Arvidsson. I like Podkolzin's game. He's not going to give you much offense, but he doesn't give up much defensively. Janmark is ultra responsible defensively, and Arvidsson's just got enough annoyance. And think about it, hey, they scored a huge goal, right? Like they scored the game-winning goal. So it's like Janmark's got 2 goals in the playoffs. Arvidsson's got 1. They all combined on that goal, so you can't really complain about it. Trent Frederick, I had a good conversation with him today, and he's like, God, thank God Leon scored, because he's like, man, I had such a good chance in overtime. But, he feels like chances are coming. And a guy like that, you don't want to put pressure on yourself, but you're in a new team. You want to contribute, right? And he's, basically played, 7 minutes in the regular season, obviously not enough to contribute. And he gets in the playoffs, and he says he's feeling better every game spec. And each game, his tape job that's why you're starting to see him skate better, is because it's feeling better all the time, and it's less and less tape, because he used to the first game, it was cinched in there tight, and he didn't have much ankle flexion. Okay. Slowly starting to get more every game.
Well, and I'm looking at the 4 lines now. Obviously you like Evan's first line, and the Nugent Hopkins line, it's got the makings of a pretty decent second line. And now you go Henrique and Brown and Freddie. And you say, that's been a quiet line. But you know what? They'll have their turn. We've seen Brown have good playoff games, right? Frederick's on the come here. You can see him getting better and better. And you kind of like your 4th line. Here's Alfred or Victor Arvidsson on your 4th line. That's a guy that can bury a chance. And Janmark's a playoff guy. So, all of a sudden I'm looking at a 4-line team that every line has a little bit of an identity, and every line you think is going to have its day here. And, playoff series are won on unexpected goals by unexpected people, right? And if you have some guys sprinkled in your bottom 6 that can put a puck away, and the Oilers do, when it's a 2-2 game and you're running that 3rd line over the boards, I don't mind your chances maybe of getting a big goal. So yeah, they're kind of rounded in for a team that's mixed it up and had the blender out all year. They're kind of rounded into a 4-line team that I don't mind.
Yeah, it's true, right? Hey, you get healthy, that helps. And, on the back end, it's basically, Emberson plays, at certain times in the game. He's like a number 6 defenseman right now. It's his first NHL playoffs. He's a young guy. He's kind of more defensive minded, and he plays on the penalty kill, does a little bit 5-on-5, but they use their other guys. And, obviously if they had Ekholm, they'd probably run a 6-man rotation pretty well, but they got a 5-man, and Kulak's talk lots. He actually feels better when he plays that much, because Wallman can skate, Nurse can skate, Kulak can really skate, Klingberg and Bouchard's actually deceptively quicker than you think sometimes. Got an awkward stride, but Klingberg is worked out. He's not great in a straight line, but man, his lateral motion is really starting to come.
Yeah. So all of a sudden now Klingberg comes along, and he's playing better this stint than he did the last. And you go, okay, I don't mind that. And, the Wallman has started to really play. He's looking like the guy gave a 1st-round pick for. And, it's kind of funny. When you look at all the predictions before this series, and, I got to say, the way the Oilers have gone this year with the way they played and all their injuries, and Skinner hasn't been as good, and lots of guys haven't been as good. I kind of thought, I don't know, man. Like, I don't know how far they're going to go. I don't know if this is their year. And as I watch them play now, and I think that, guys are kind of getting better, and the cohesion's getting better. The chemistry's getting better. And God, what happened? Pretty soon Stetcher's going to be ready to play if you need him. And, oh, my God, what if they last long enough for Ekholm to get back? Then you kind of think, I don't mind the environment in front of the goaltending, right? We talked about this today, you and me. Like, no one's winning those first 2 games against LA the way the defensive play was. Now, all of a sudden, you got Pickard in there. He's not seeing that many chances. He looks great, and Skinner's in the bullpen. So they're kind of looking like a team that might prove some people wrong this spring, Jay.
Yeah, you know what? And everyone now and then will pick me as a homer, and I laugh at that. But I looked at the orders, and for a lot of reasons, I looked at a lot of their underlying numbers at certain times when they were healthy. And for 30 games, they're the best team in the year, and they didn't have Kane, they didn't have Frederick. And I'm a big, you know me, Spec, I'm a big believer that physicality helps your team in the playoffs. Makes guys, it just spreads it around. And all of a sudden, it's easier to be emotional. I always make the analogy of guys, you walk around with a group of buddies. If you got one guy who's just a little bit more swagger, all of a sudden you're like, oh, hey, whatever. And that could be as simple as a guy walks down and he's talking to all the girls. Suddenly you're like, well, geez, I'm talking to girls. And, I can't wheel a tire down a hill, but suddenly I'm talking to girls. So, you know what? I'm a big believer that it helps out in different regards. And Kane and Frederick, both of them add to it. Like, you still need the skill. That doesn't make everybody better, because I thought the Oilers have proven for long stretches, as long as they can eliminate it, and it was obviously a terrible start, as long as they can eliminate being Santa Claus, they can go on a deep run.
Yeah, and I think that's what we're seeing is the last couple games. LA is going to earn some chances. Like, listen, I'll be stunned if we see another game in the series like we saw in Game 5, where one team dominates the other team that much. Like, I can't remember the last time I saw, I think the Mike Kelly, we were talking about this maybe yesterday. Mike Kelly was saying that analytics guy was saying that's the most dominant playoff game since 2016, 2017 by his numbers. So we're not going to probably see that again, is what I'm trying to say. But I do think that if the Kings are going to get their chances, but the difference is they're not, if the Oilers are going to do this, they're not handing them chances. They're not, a couple of plays Bouchard made in Game 1 and Game 2, a couple of really ugly breakouts that ended up coming straight back at Stu Skinner in a 2-on-1. If you eliminate those, you got every chance. If you start handing Adrian Kempe long looks while he's coming in off the wing, we all know how that story ends, right? He's good at it. Same with Fiala, he's good at it. So I noticed last game, I didn't see Kempe with a puck in the offensive zone for any long looks. That's how you beat the Kings for sure.
Lastly, Spec, 3 other Game 6s tonight. Colorado, Minnesota, and Ottawa, all at home, all trying to win. Which one intrigues you the most?
Well, it's got to be, I don't know. First of all, I've loved the Vegas series. Minnesota's really good. And to me, those teams are a toss-up. I wouldn't at all be surprised to see Minnesota win and that series keep going. The most intriguing for me is Ottawa-Toronto. Like, okay, I'm like everybody else. I rubberneck at the car crash, man. I look at Toronto. They're 1-13 in closing games. There's no power play goals in any of those games. It intrigues me. I can't wait. Am I cheering for Ottawa a little bit under the table? Yeah, probably. I'd love to see the Leafs. Love to see the Leafs go home for Game 7.
I'll say it openly. Damn right, I'm cheering for Ottawa. Game 7 Saturday night in Toronto. If the Oilers fans, if their team wins, they're sitting back. They're like you. I just want to see the train wreck. They'll be just I know what Oilers fans will be doing. They'll just sending little barbs to Leaf fans on Twitter, sitting at home, because they'll bite and they'll lose their mind all the time. Oh, it's the officials. It's the officials. Oh, yeah, but it would be – I still think Toronto wins the series, but, God, if they don't, oh, my goodness, will that be an off season?
And Marner's contract's up. So, anyhow, lots of fun, man. The rink's going to be good tonight. Like, I think fans – the Oilers gave their fans something in that Game 5. They really pumped belief in everyone's veins with that performance, man. They look like the team we saw play Florida last year. And I think if you're going to the rink tonight, you're going to the rink, hoping and expecting to see a series end. I think that barn's going to be a blast this evening.
Spec, we'll see you at the rink. Have a good night.
All right, man.
That's Mark Spector, the Spec Report, brought to you by GS Construction. When we return, Jason Chimera, former Edmonton Oiler, 1,000 games played in the NHL. He'll join us, talk some playoffs, Oilers, Ovi, and more on the Gregor Show, presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
The job isn't done until the last load is hauled, and having a semi-trailer out of commission is not an option. Whether replacing or adding to your convoy, Edmonton Trailer has a huge inventory of new and used semi-trailers, trusted by the gravel, logging, oil field, fluids, and freight industries. Find a trailer right for you online or at one of their 3 locations. For sales, service, parts, rental, and finance.
It's a 2025 XC90 plug-in hybrid from 1.49% and save up to $5,000. Lease a 2025 XC60 plug-in hybrid from 4.9% and save $3,000. Lease or finance a 2025 XC40 from 0.49% and save $2,000. Get ready for the open road at Volvo Cars Edmonton. Great vehicles, better services, only at VolvoCarsEdmonton.com.
The Bricks tent sale is back. Take up to 60% off clearance items in the tents with new product arriving daily and many items below cost. Plus, shop incredible 5-day deals like mattresses starting at only $89. My Dia upright freezer for just $369. Save $700 on a 2-piece sleeper sectional. And desks start at only $99. Some exclusions apply. See in-store for details. The tent sale is on now at The Brick, saving you more.
Legacy Heating and Cooling jingle auditions take one for Gene Principe. Hey, thanks for being on time.
I'm always punctual. Now, how about some cool beats while I drop the heat?
Ready when you are.
Tall legacy, tall legacy.
Nice.
Boom! I'm a musical genius.
Legacy's going to love this for AC season.
What's not to love with no interest and no Principe payments for 1 year?
Are you always like this?
Yep. Unlike Legacy, I never know when to cool it.
Legacy Heating and Cooling.
Explore Internet just got 10 times faster. 5G Ultra brings incredible speeds to homes in rural and small town Canada. Upgrade today at xplore.ca.
At Fountain Tire, we're all about one thing: taking care of your vehicle. Oh, and your wallet. I guess that's 2 things. Save up to 20% off select tires until June 14th. Fountain Tire. We're on this road together, Canada.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Papa John's. The pizza makers at Papa John's are making you 2 or more items for $9.99 each from their Papa Pairings menu, like medium 1-topping pizzas, boneless wings, cheese sticks, and more. Better ingredients, a better pizza. Papa John's.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
And Play Alberta, where you can get sports, casino, live dealer, lottery, instance, all in one place. Your one-stop shop at PlayAlberta.ca. Jason Gregor, Connor Halley with you as it's time for us. So we are live and on the rocks, Jasper Ave and 118th Street. So stop in tonight, your place to watch the game. It's going to be rocking. I'll give you a tip, though. The intersection on Jasper and 118th is under construction right now, so you can't turn off of Jasper to come in on 118th. So either turn on 116th or you can go down to 19th or just come in on the backside of one on 101st Ave. Just makes it a little bit less stressful for you. So there you go. Very easy. Now, let's go in the room, brought to you by Action Electrical, the most diversified electrical contractor in Alberta for four divisions and projects, service, tag, and solar for both EV and energy. Check it out, actionelectrical.net. As we are joined now by a gentleman who played over 1,000 NHL games, of course, has started his career as a member of the Edmonton Oilers, and bounced around, spent lots of his time with the Washington Capitals. Jason Chimera joins us. Chimmer, welcome back to the show, buddy. How you doing?
Hey, Greg said I don't say bounce around. I just say like they everyone wanted me. That's what I
buddy. You were very hey, it's good to be wanted, right? It's good to be wanted.
Yes, exactly. Right? No, thanks for having me, buddy. It's always good to talk to you.
every free agency, weren't you just like 10 teams calling you? Wasn't that how it was?
15. I was, yeah.
Hey, man, you know what? I'm assuming like anybody else, and, you had some good runs in the playoffs with teams. You know how it is and everything like that. Like, do you get jacked up now? Your kid, your son and daughter a little bit older. Like, do they get into the playoffs with dad?
Oh, yeah. They're like, we're going down to the games tonight, and just it's everyone stays up later to watch the games, and it's no matter what, this is the best time of year for hockey and hockey fans, and just they live in the city, so they're big Oilers fans, and so am I. So we kind of just cheer from it. It's really exciting.
Do they check out Dad's highlights every now and then just to say, "Oh, Dad, you could play"?
Yeah, I think there's more of me getting beat up in there probably than the highlights there, Greg. I don't know.
Jeez, you're not, buddy. You had multi 20-goal seasons. You got to have some goal highlights to show them. Come on.
Yeah, that was back in the day. I don't think they had they don't have the games televised. So.
So you look at I want to ask you, as a guy who played the game, the LA Kings, they don't forecheck, Chimera.
Yeah.
Like, and they'd sit back. Like, it's unbelievable that they haven't changed. Are you stunned by this?
Yeah, well, I think they're just scared of like what Oilers can do on the rush, but like there's only one or two guys can do that on a rush. So I don't know why they go to that forecheck. I am stunned they don't change, but I think it's just the way they found success. And obviously they were pretty successful for the first 4 games. Like they really gave the Oilers, the Oilers kind of got lucky to win a couple of those, and I think, but now they start playing better, so hopefully. But I am stunned they don't change.
So, like, how difficult, if you've been a heavy, like, guys know how to forecheck. Like, it wouldn't be that hard if all of a sudden the Kings decide, okay, we got a forecheck tonight, would it?
No, but if you play a certain way, you're used to sitting back a bit. Like, Minnesota Wild always played that way for whatever reason, and they always sat back. And I don't think it would be that hard to change. No.
Yeah. So like, that's what I'm saying. Like,
but and even as a player, I'd be like, for me, I'd hate that. I'd hate not. I would just like, I wouldn't know what to do. I could never sit back like that. I just like, it was So it kind of, I don't like the way that game's played that way, and I never would recommend that to anybody. That's for sure.
No, it's not fun for the players, and the other thing is, like, I know that the Kings had success playing this way a bit in 12 and 14. However, what people forget was they forechecked hard when they won those 2 cups. They just don't forecheck now. I don't really understand it. And, I think the game, like, I would love the NHL to ban forward should not be allowed to skate backwards in the neutral zone when the other team's coming up. I think that would be a great, it's like a legal defense. And
it's like a penalty.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right? Like, wouldn't it make the game better?
It would. Yeah, no, for sure. Like, and as a forward speaking for myself, I never could skate backwards. So I don't want to skate backwards. Right. So you're like, I want to go forward. So you're like, anytime you got caught backwards, you're like, oh no, I'm screwed here. So it's just like, I do like up-tempo game. I like forechecking. I like the hitting, and that creates turnovers, and I do think they have the team to do that too. So I don't know why they would, because they got some guys that could skate. They got some guys that were pretty physical and bigger forwards, and you think they would. It's all personal preference of coach too. So it is. So.
Jason Chimera joins us. You look at the Oilers, and I felt like they have made adjustments. They've decided to do, dump and place. And we've seen that, especially with the Kings playing 4. And like Zach Hyman, 22 hits in 2 games. He had 53 all of last year. Like, what's unique about Edmonton is a lot of their star guys will buy in. And Jim Fox told me he's been really impressed with kind of the ground game of the Oilers against LA. And, McDavid and Draisaitl, we all know what they can do with skill, but they can play like a hard kind of grinding game if you need it.
Yeah, now you're going to have to play different ways to win this Stanley Cup, right? So everyone's going to they're going to key on Connor and those guys, and they're going to make them dump and chase. And what I didn't think the Oilers did a very good job in the past, but now they're doing a better job of actually, like you said, dumping to get it back. Like they had no retrieval plan before, but now it seems like they got more guys willing to buy in, and hard rimming a bit, and they're getting back that way too. And they seem like they have a better plan coming into their neutral zone this year, and they seem like they're getting the pucks back a lot more than they ever have. And it's hard to get the puck back when they play that system, but if you dump it correctly, you can get it back probably a majority of the time.
When you say dump it correctly, Chimmer, what's a mistake? Like when you dump it, is just like a soft dump into the corner. What's the proper way to dump in your eyes?
Yeah, so you look at where your players are, you look at where he's coming, and you have a plan going forward. Like you just don't aimlessly dump it in because their defense will grab it, get it back. They got Doughty and those guys who zing it back up. Now you're chasing the game, right? So I think you just look at where your players are, and either it's sometimes it's a soft cross corner dump to speed, or sometimes it's a hard rim because you can't get to that guy. So it's just like placing it better, like you said, having a bit of a plan, but also like the player's going to buy it and just not dump it in, just to dump it in, if that makes sense. Like you're just trying to, it's an offensive play. Like for me, dumping in is offensive play. You're giving it up to get it back. You're not giving up to give it up. You're trying to create zone time. You're trying to create offense through it. And Oilers have done a really good job of that especially in the last game, especially first period, they're all over him. It was just like clinic. They played really good. That was one of the best periods they played for a long time.
Jason Chimera joins us. Looking at like I know forwards want to play more. Every player always wants to play more, but basically playing 3 lines. Can you talk about just how taxing it is? And maybe people don't realize if all of a sudden you go from being a 13 a minute a night guy, now you're playing 17. You haven't played 17 all year. You get gassed quicker, especially in the playoffs. Do you not?
Oh, 100%. And like ice time allocation is huge, and especially if you don't want to tax your big guys too much, like Connor and Leon. You want to have some gas left in the tank at the end of the game, and that's why utilization. That's, I can't even say it, Gregor. But it's like of the fourth line and your fifth and sixth defensemen are crucial in playoffs. This is like everyone finishes hitting playoffs. Everyone's finishing. You see, like, not saying like I love Nuge as a player, but he doesn't really throw. But he's throwing his body around. So guys like everyone's hitting everyone, and it's a little more taxing on your body. And if you could save those minutes somehow with those guys, it's really. Especially for the big guys, as a fourth line guy, I understood I have to give my guys a rest, and the more we can play in offensive zone and give them offensive zone starts, the better, and just like take some wear and tear off their legs, and that's a huge thing. And then like Oilers played, I think they utilized your bench a little bit more in that overtime game. It kind of showed in overtime. They kind of took the game over in the third and fourth, and actually probably every game they took the game over in the last half of the game.
Yeah. Jason Chimera joins us here on Sports 1440, Oilers Nation, YouTube, Facebook, and X. And Chimera, you spend many years from 2010 all the way to 2016 with Alex Ovechkin. And you look like, and even Ovi in 16 was like, I don't think the record's, doable to catch at that point. Now, scoring was down, no question. But how kind of, as a guy who played that long with them, and you saw it up close just how good he was, but how surprised are you? Like, guy's 39 and he scored 40+ goals this year to break the record.
Yeah, I know. I'd be lying to say if I didn't think he'd break it, because he's a big man. He plays pretty big hockey game too, and I would never thought he would get there. But it's pretty cool. He's got a will to score goals more than anybody I've ever seen in my life, and this enjoyment level when he scores it. Like every goal he scores is like his first goal. It's kind of crazy. So it's just and he scores in different ways too. Like a lot of people say he's just a one-timer, but he scores it in a lot of different ways, tips and rebounds and off the rush, and obviously that one-timer. But man, like to score goals at that level at this day and age, when scoring, I know scoring's dropped a bit, but just to score goals at that level is amazing. And kudos to him for just like you said, he's 39. He's scored 40+ goals, which is absolutely incredible.
Well, and the other thing, Chimmer, you mentioned he likes scoring, but he goes just as crazy when one of his teammates scores.
Yes, yeah, no, he's happy. He's happier. He's like he's a great teammate that way. He enjoys everyone's success, and he's not really jealous of people when they score goals. He's one of the first guys jumping up and down on the bench, and he's great that way with everybody. And he's always been more excited when anybody else scores a goal. I remember that. He's always the first guy to greet you in the line when you're coming back in handshake, or the fist pump line. So he's always the guy he's one of the guys celebrating.
So it's game 6 now, and you've been in situations where you can put a team away. And I always hear, it's the hardest game to win. And I believe that to a point. But the Oilers are 5-0 with this group in games 5 and 6 when they have a chance to put a team away. Then they're 2-2 in game 7s when it's technically a clinching game. It's a clinching game for both teams. Well, the Oilers' ability to put a team away, Chimera, do you just sense that their confidence going into tonight where you're just like, this is a game they won't lose based on the last 5 periods and their previous ability to close out a series?
Yeah, I think, with with heartbreak, it comes a lot of has learned from that. I know they've been pretty good at elimination games, but like Game 7 lost last year, they're a motivated group, and I know if Draisaitl and McDavid are almost willing their team to win. You could see the level of pace they play with, and just kind of their just the way they manage pucks now and all that stuff. And I just think they have the group, the maturity to do it now. They're a little older, they're a little more mature, and that really helps for these kind of situations. I think they're gonna be pretty calm tonight going into it, like confidence, but not too calm, but they're gonna be really ready for the game. I think I do think they're gonna close it out tonight. I do feel that.
Chimmer, when you go to the game now, do you have the rally towel? Are you taking your shirt off and waving the towel?
Well, I don't know if I should take my shirt off nowadays, Greg. I don't know if people would appreciate that, but
you're not a concave chest guy.
No, maybe I'll do it. Maybe I'll do it for you and point you out, and then if
well, you know what?
All my shirts off.
Okay, where are you sitting? Just so the camera can, just so they're listening, they know what section you're sitting in.
I can't tell that.
Awesome. Well, Cherry, maybe we'll see you at the rink, man. It's always good catching up with you. Oh, one last one for you. I know you've been doing a lot of amateur coaching. What's the thing you've learned about the most as a young coach, and maybe the thing you've liked most about coaching kids?
I coach a female game now, so I coach a U18 OHA female game. I just love coaching the girls. They're like sponges. They learn a lot, and the biggest thing I learned as coaching is they don't know. Because I played the game for a long time, and I expected them to know what I'm talking about, and they just don't know. So I think that's the ability to know that and show them, and kind of that's the biggest thing I learned.
Okay, because you don't want to over talk. You're just like, well, hey, you should know this, and no, I don't know that.
Yeah.
But once you teach
100%.
it to them, then they get it. So that's great.
Yeah,
awesome.
Yeah,
Chimmer, enjoy the game tonight, man. We'll talk to you again soon.
All right, Greg. It's always a pleasure. Thanks.
There you go. That's Jason Chimera. Still one of the fastest guys I've ever seen, and really good dude. Funny. That guy could fly. Absolute fly. And he is a great example. When he was drafted, Chimera's a big man. When he was drafted, he was like 5. I want to say 5'9", maybe. Right? I think he said he was like a $140 before he got to the dub. He finally grew later on in the dub, but that guy could absolutely wheel. Super fast. And you look at his NHL career, man, he carved out himself a really solid career, had 3 seasons of 20 goals, and he scored 20 goals with the Caps. He scored 20 goals with the Islanders, had lots of, 17, 15, 16 goal seasons with Columbus, and 1,100 games, dude. That is a hell of and that's regular season. So a hell of a career for Jason Chimera, a 5th round pick back in 1997. He was drafted when Connor McDavid was 6 months old. We'll take a quick break. We'll come back with the lineup report and more. Jason Gregor, Connor Halley live and on the Rocks, Jasper Ave, 118th Street, your place to watch the game tonight. It's the Gregor Show, presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
Day or night, tasting just so right. You can order noodle at oodle-noodle.ca, delivering you the news almost right away. Remember, you can order oodle-noodle at oodle-noodle.ca. So stay on your couch all day and order oodle-noodle.ca. Oodle-noodle.
Join the fight this Saturday night. Hi, Todd James, your ride captain for the Edmonton Motorcycle Ride for Dad, raising funds and awareness in the battle against prostate cancer. Once again, Blackjack's Roadhouse in Nisku is hosting our kickoff fundraiser, a night of nostalgia with Canada's tribute to ABBA, Arrival, plus silent and live auctions, 50/50 and more. All money raised goes to this June's ride in support of the Prostate Cancer Fight Foundation. See you Saturday. Tickets just $35 on the Ride for Dad Edmonton Facebook page.
Silent Ice Sports and Entertainment is an innovative market leader across Western Canada with sports and entertainment properties, including the Spruce Grove Saints, the Junior Prospects Hockey League,
Silent Rides Charter Company, the Hockey Super League, and the newly launched Female Super League. Silent Ice also owns the Western Hockey League's Seattle Thunderbirds and operates the Morinville AAA Arena. The Silent Ice Center, a new state-of-the-art entertainment facility, is open in Nisku, which features 2 sheets of ice, including a 1,600-seat arena and a restaurant with a viewing area.
If you bleed orange and blue and you're not using the all-new Play Alberta Sports and Casino app, then you're missing out. It's the only online sportsbook with odds boosts on all Oilers games. And now, it's not just sports. Play the slots, hit the tables, buy lottery tickets, all in one app, all across Alberta. Download Play Alberta now from your phone's app store and use promo code GOAL for a $100 bonus. That's promo code GOAL!
The Bricks tent sale is back. Take up to 60% off clearance items in the tents with new product arriving daily and many items below cost. Plus, shop incredible 5-day deals like mattresses starting at only $89. My Dia upright freezer for just $369. Save $700 on a 2-piece sleeper sectional. And desks start at only $99. Some exclusions apply. See in-store for details. The tent sale is on now at the Brick, saving you more.
Experience more at the Edmonton Expo Center. Come for Canada's largest trade show, the biggest names in entertainment, exhilarating sporting events, and more. Stay for the experience. But it doesn't end there. Maximize your brand exposure with Edmonton Expo Center's new cutting-edge feature screens, spanning Western Canada's largest venue space. Captivate an annual audience of over 1 million visitors during iconic events like Pro Rodeo, Disney on Ice, Glow, K-Days, and so much more. To learn more, call 780-660-0514 or visit edmontonexpocenter.com today.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Can Torque. We offer sale, rental, repair, and calibration of hydraulic, pneumatic, and battery-powered torque wrenches, stud tensioners, and flange maintenance equipment. Order today at cantorque.com.
Hat tricks, touchdowns, and home runs. Get it all with the Jason Gregor Show on Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
$5:46. Oh, party all the time. You know what? That's going to happen here at On the Rocks tonight. Oh, especially if the Oilers win, man. I'm telling you, talk to Dave and Dr. Wang here, and just the atmosphere and well, think about it. Think about it in your own home, in your neighborhood, a house party, wherever you're at. If you're at the game, just you're at the Moss Pit. When the team wins, man, like it's just jubilation for everybody. It's like a euphoric feeling. Everyone's excited. And you know what? There's not a lot of time where there's a big group of people that everybody's just like strangers high-fiving each other. I kind of joked last Friday night when the Oilers won that game. And just, you know, how many people be fall in love with each other after that? It happens. Friday night, get together. Everybody's excited. All of a sudden, you know what? Everybody's looking more oh, look at your features. Everybody just looks better, right? In your house, all of a sudden, your wife's complimenting you more. Maybe you're complimenting her more. Life's good. And that's what sports can do for a short period of time. It's one thing, you know what? You got people that are staunch right or staunch left, but when you're Oilers fan, guess what? No one asks you. What? No. You're a conservative. You're a liberal. Whatever, which is kind of stupid in a way, but still, I think it's great that in sports, that's why sports are awesome, because people just if you cheer for the team, you want the team to win. Even if you like Bouchard, you don't like Bouchard, y'all like when the team wins. It's kind of how it goes. 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440. Hey guys, I watched the game online, and every time the Oilers score, we know ahead of time from the noise because the neighbor watches his game on the TV. It's so loud. Well, there you go from Joseph. Wow, you're watching on. Hey, I get it. Some people don't have cable, but you get it for the playoffs. Totally understandable. Understandable. Now, let's get to the lineup report brought to you by Sherwood Power Sports and Marine, your place. Hey, you're thinking about it right now. Oh, it's May. You're getting close to boating season. Well, $150 bi-weekly. Get you on a boat this summer. Not bad. Only at Sherwood Park Power Sports and Marine. Lineup for the Edmonton Oilers, status quo. Calvin Pickard will get his 4th consecutive start, looking for his 4th straight playoff win. Of course, no goalies won 4 in a row this year in the playoffs. He could become the first. Also, defense, Nurse Bouchard. You will have Wallman and Klingberg, Kulak and Emberson. We all know they switch around. Lots of different D partners at different times throughout the game. Up front, McDavid, Draisaitl, and Perry. You will have Kane, Hyman, and Nugent Hopkins. You've got Henrique, Brown, and Frederick. You also have Janmark between Arvidsson and Podkolzin. Knobloch did say he'd like to keep the lines together. We do know that obviously you switch a few times. Corey Perry's not playing every shift with McDavid and Draisaitl. We saw Kane up there a few times last game. Hyman gets a few shifts there. And if another guy's really going, we saw Frederick get a shift. So they'll switch those guys up. Obviously, McDavid and Draisaitl play the most of any forwards, and they're used to it. They can handle it. And tonight, I think Chris Knobloch, you're coaching to win. You definitely, well, if you can, would love to get an early lead. Vegas got an early lead in Minnesota on the road on the power play tonight, and they lead 1-0 as they look to clinch that series. If they do, that's who the Oilers are going to play. Also, the Maple Leafs, Austin Matthews. Austin Matthews, he's actually scored in a big game, is second of the playoffs on a power play. So not only do the Leafs, they get a power play goal, which they've never done. Well, not never, but they're 1 for 31 in those 14 games where they're 1 for 13 in clinching scenarios. Their power play had 1 goal. Awful. So they get the power play marker tonight. Matthews from Marner and Nylander. So maybe that'll jumpstart them. Power play goal for Shea Theodore. You've got the Stars and the Avs, and then, of course, the Oilers and the LA Kings. And the Oilers power play, 33% in this series. How about this? No points for McDavid yet on the power play. And they're still 33%. It's a good sign. The lineup for the LA Kings, very similar to the Edmonton Oilers. No changes. Obviously, Darcy Kemper is going to go in goal. Darcy Kemper, the only reason the game 5 was even close, stood on his head for the LA Kings. On defense, you got Anderson and Doughty, Gavrikov, Spence, Edmondson, and Clark. We know that Gavrikov and Edmondson play quite a bit together. Jordan Spence did play a series high 850 last game. Brandt Clark did play more at 14 minutes. And, man, if the Kings get behind, you got to play Brandt Clark. I would argue he's their best pure offensive defenseman right now. If you're trailing in a game, you at some point, don't you have to let the handcuffs off your team and try to score? Just a thought. Kopitar, Kuzmenko, Kempe, Byfield plays with Laferriere and Fiala, Deneau, Moore, and Fogle, and then Hellenius, Malott, and Turcotte. Those guys barely. They did play 5 minutes last game. Can they get to 6? Connor Halley, do you think we see 6 minutes from their fourth line tonight?
No, I do not think so. Well, it could be the last game of the season. You got to lay it all on the line, and I think they'll just go with the big dogs.
Yeah, you're probably right. Probably right. So we will we'll see. Hey, boys. I'm leaving the patio doors open so all the neighbors on my block can hear me either cheer or swear at my TV during the game from JC. Well, you know what's unique about it is when you're in your neighborhood, you're watching the game where you can tell when the Oilers score. Like you can hear some muffled cheer, and definitely when they win the series, right? Horns are honking and it just builds. You know what? I know some neighborhoods that have watch parties together. Right, they get 4 or 5 houses together, which is a lot of fun. I do it with a few of the people in our neighborhood for road games. Obviously, I go to all the home games. They get fired up. They like it. And, as the kids get older, like it's kind of cool. And the unfortunate part is the game starts so late that your kids can. A Friday night, maybe everybody can stay up a little bit later. But the thing is, everyone's like, "Oh, let the kids stay up." And then the next day, it's like, "Why did I let the kids stay up? They're a bear. They don't sleep in. It's not worth it." It's not worth it. Record the game and be like, get up early. I'd rather you go to bed. I'll get up early and watch the second and third period with you rather than stay up because they're just a bear. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. You learn that as a parent. It's not worth it. But so that's if they go later, you get to the third round, then all the games are 6:20. And, the kids, then you're like, hey, you can stay up till 8:50. We'll deal with that. No problem at all. So it's fun. Konza, what's your expectation for how many game 7s are we going to see this year?
In all of the playoffs or in this round?
Oh, this round.
This round. Yeah, I mean, I think that Vegas wraps it up tonight. I think that I'm going to hope that the Leafs get it done, and I think that the Dallas Stars will not get it done. So I'm going to say Leafs Sens goes to game 7. You'll have the Stars Avs go to game 7. And Jets Blues, because it's been fun hockey, also going to game 7. So 3.
3. Ooh. Ooh, I like it.
Yeah.
3. Well, 3 wouldn't be bad in the first round. I would take 3. And that means if there's 3, at least one of them is going to be Saturday night because the Jets and the Blues play their game 6 tomorrow, which means there could technically be a game 7 on Sunday, maybe. Now, we've already had people asking. We're not going to talk about it. I don't know when the Oilers, if they win, when they would start. We'll talk about that tomorrow if they win. Enjoy the game. We got Andrew Walker, Donovan Paulson coming up next with the pregame show. So more wall-to-wall coverage to get you set for game 6. Oilers looking to dispatch the Kings for the 4th consecutive year. Have a great night. Enjoy. Come to OTR. Watch the game. You're going to have a great opportunity. Great specials on beverages and food. And also, if you like a little dancing, it's tonight. But hey, Rockstar Burgers, $2 mini burgers tonight. So come on down. Think about that. You can crush like 5 burgers for $10 at OTR. Let's get to the con man and a Sports 1440 update brought to you by Fountain Tire. Roads, trips, job sites, daily commutes. No matter where you drive, you need a team that will keep you on the road, and that's what Fountain Tire does. More than just tires, they do brakes, shocks, alignments, and more. Book a service at fountaintire.com. Good night. That's a Gregor Show presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
This is a Sports 1440 update.
Just over 2.5 hours away from puck drop as the Oilers look to wrap up their series with the Kings down there at Rogers Place, leading 3-2. Pre-game coverage with Andrew Walker and Donovan Paulson coming up next here on Sports 1440. 2 games underway right now. After 20, the Leafs lead the Sens 1-0. Austin Matthews with the lone goal, and Shea Theodore has the lone goal for the Golden Knights as they lead the Wild 1-0 midway through the first. Later tonight, the Avalanche looking to stay alive as they host the Stars, trailing 3-2. In the association, the New York Knicks on their way to knocking off the Pistons. They lead 28-15 in the first quarter. Lots of time for Detroit still. At 8 o'clock, you got the Clippers and the Nuggets meeting in Los Angeles. Denver up 3-2 in that series. Major League Baseball, Jays Red Sox meeting in Toronto, currently scoreless in the top of the 4th. Just one of the games going on right now. Phillies lead the Nats 1-0 in the 6th. Earlier today, Cubs over the Pirates 8-3. The Twins fall to the Guardians 4-3 in extras. White Sox blanked the Brewers 8-0, and it was the Athletics over the Rangers by a score of 3-0. In the WHL tonight, the Chiefs can complete the sweep over the Winterhawks when they meet puck drop just after 8 o'clock. The winner of this one advancing to the final and a meeting with Gavin McKenna's Medicine Hat Tigers. That's going to do it for us here on the Jason Gregor Show. Coming up next, it is pregame coverage with Andrew Walker and Donovan Paulson. I'm Connor Halley. This has been a Sports 1440 update.
It's Sports 1440.